Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic. The author of the Refer to the Quran, which helps every novice to understand the steps towards understanding the great Quran and the guidance of God in it.
Time to rise and meet the challenge. Baba Shuaib is calling you out. Meet Baba Shuaib, a correctional officer with a mission. Today he's throwing down the gauntlet to the mushriks, no more holding back. With his logo shirt and cap, Baba Shuaib sits tall and confident. He says, the time for action is now. It's time to rise, to push past limits, and to become the best versions of ourselves. Baba Shuaib believes in the power of determination and resilience. His challenge is simple. Stand up, face your fears, and conquer them. Every day is a new opportunity, he says. An opportunity to grow stronger, to be better, and to leave a mark on the world. So, are you ready to accept Baba Shuaib's challenge? Are you ready to rise above and beyond? Join Baba Shuaib and let's show the world what we're made of, because the only limit is the one you set for yourself.
I don't do anything that I cannot prove, but it seems that when people don't understand what I do or why I'm doing something, they are quick to judge. Quran chapter 18 verse 65. Remember, Moses was a prophet, right? But he went to another servant of God to seek knowledge. Sometimes the perspective you are looking at things, you might think you are right, till you go and meet another person. Maybe God has gifted him more than you. Then you get to realize, oh, you are actually falling behind. And that is why I open up for dialogue. I watch you just like you watch me. I master the art of double checking you more than you check me. So whatever you think you are coming with, I've already prepared the weapons on the side, because I know all of you are watching, especially the people who are coming for my neck. So I get prepared for all of your heebie-jeebies. This is how I'll be taking all of you one by one when you come at me. So go back and study. Just because you don't have understanding of something doesn't mean the other person is wrong. Just because it's beyond your imagination or understanding. Let's have a dialogue, one-on-one. Baba Shuaib will bring you and let's face it out. When you're dealing with mushriks, that they have mastered the art of frustration, they can frustrate you with a blink of an eye. This is why they like interruption. You need to keep your emotions in check, because your opponent will use it against you every given time. Sometimes there are things you need to laugh it off. Of course, you are a human being. You might have feelings of being hurt, but laugh it off. Because the moment your opponent knows that this is hurting you, it will keep pinching that side. Same goes in the dialogue, same goes in the debate, same goes in the family. You see two sisters fighting, you see a brother and a sister fighting, you see two brothers fighting. You need to keep your emotions in check. You have to be emotionally intelligent when you are having intellectual discussions. When you see people scared to face Baba Shuaib, it doesn't mean I'm the most knowledgeable person on earth or I know more than everybody. No, that's not the idea. It is because I've mastered the art of having intellectual discussions. I can have a dialogue, I can have discussions by keeping my emotions in check. So your weakness should be something you have to master on. You have to work on it. Who told him that Fatiha is for the Jews? Who? Hypocrite. Come and tell us. I dare you, the day I get you one-on-one in the dialogue, you stop laughing, old man. You find Fatiha in the book of God, which Muslims are holding the book of God, and you are saying, no, it is not for the Muslims, it is for the Jews. I catch you, you explain. By the way, stop sitting far away and explain. You are wasting people's time. Baba Shuaib is calling for a dialogue. My phone number is there. I'll put up the link. I dare you, the mega hypocrites, any of you, I dare you to come for a one-on-one dialogue, and let's see if you can stand the test of time in front of the correctional officer. Remember, Quran chapter 10 verse 82, where you God will enforce the truth with his words, even if the criminals like Hamza Malik dislike it. A criminal is the one trying to interpolate his own words into the words of God. God never said Isa has a father. Mega hypocrites. You are hypocrites, wallahi.
I'm going to troll you from now until I can't breathe no more.
Aleshi Lovi's love Loye Aleshi Loye Khalif says what? Nakib is Nigerian. That says no hadith, no Islam. That is his opinion. There's nowhere Quran says no hadith, no Islam. As a matter of fact, Islam has been there already before even the garbage hadith books came on earth. Islam was already there. Ibrahim was a Muslim. Quran chapter 2 verse 128. He told God to make him and his son Muslimain, two Muslims. They are Muslims. He's already, when God told him Aslim, he says Aslamtu li Rabbil Alamin. So Ibrahim was a Muslim already. So Abraham was even made as an imam, a leader for mankind. Quran chapter 2 verse 124. And we are asked to follow the footsteps of this man, the creed of this man, who is our ancestor. Quran chapter 22 verse 78. Do you get the point? So if you say no hadith, no Islam, you are the biggest fool to make such a statement, actually. Yeah, because hadith books never existed at the time of even Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yeah, he has no idea of these garbage books we are talking about. Okay, so Heavy D, peace to you. We have Otis, we have the lone wolf, we have Kazi, we have Empress 4545 says, so do you believe in hadith? Yes, I believe in hadith. Yes, I do believe in hadith actually. But the best hadith, Quran chapter 39 verse 23. Yeah, unfortunately, if you are disappointed, that's the hadith I believe in. I do believe in that hadith, the best hadith. Chapter 39 verse 23. Yes, so I believe in hadith. Omaman, is it Omamanjan? I'm with you 100%. Thank you. Hey, Nur Melanie, I see you. Peace to you. I see Oti says it is their religion, bro, not a Nigerian saying, please. They seem blindfolded to me. Yeah, they are. They are blindfolded. And you see, this is one of the reasons why Baba Shuaib always asks for a dialogue. You people don't seem to understand what I am about. I'm about a dialogue. Like when I'm facing my opponent, you understand, you with time, people who have watched my debates and that, you get to understand why my opponent will be scared to face me one-on-one. And by the way, that old man said he's scared to come on my platform, even though he says he's watching me, but he's scared. I don't know. His audience are begging me, hey, why you want the old man to come to your platform? Why don't we go for? I thought your old man says he's never scared of Baba Shuaib. Let him come so that we make a fool out of him. Yeah. Anyways, let's go to the main topic of today. Isa Shamu, I see you. Salam. Yeah. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your presence. Thank you all. So let's go to the main topic for today. Yeah. Sorry. Chocolate lover, just send me a message in my phone, my correctional officer number. Just send me a WhatsApp message and I'll get back to you with the link. Then you get to watch, right? Now I have to deal with the topic. I don't want to be distracted. Salam to you, Ziad Mahmoud, Mahomed, right? Thank you all for coming. I appreciate your presence. Let's go on. Let's talk about Brother Dravon. But before we go to Dravon, anyways, yeah, let me go to Dravon to make matters easy, simple. So I'm going to play a video from Dravon. Most of you don't know Dravon, even though I put the picture on my wall. If you have seen the picture, where's the picture? Did I put it? Did I share the picture? That's the picture behind me. So with Dravon, I'm going to play a video from him. I'm going to play a video from Dravon, and you get to listen to what he said and why the mushriks are coming for his neck, right? So let me play This is what Draven said, right?
Major issue with the Islamic community, and I haven't been speaking out about it because I was just unsure. And now I'm at the point where I'm completely certain that this issue does exist. Now, this issue revolves around the Hadith. Now, I've mentioned it briefly a couple times where I've said that, oh, maybe there's some Hadith that are beneficial, but I'm against some of them, and I never was very clear about this. The Hadith is the work of the devil. And when I say that, I truly mean it. And the Quran tells us to go against Hadith. The Quran directly tells us that everything is in the book. So if you're one of those people that think we need Hadith, you're going against the Quran. You are not a Muslim. You are something different. We're going to start with chapter 6, verse 114. Since we can all agree on the Quran now, how the Hadith is incorrect and why it got this way, that's kind of stuff I'll speak on later. But first, we're going to go to the one thing we agree on, which is the Quran. Chapter 6, verses 114. It is he who has revealed to you the book explained in detail. Chapter 6, verse 115. And the word of your Lord has been fulfilled in truth and in justice. None can change his words, and it is he, the hearing, the knowing. And it doesn't matter what translation you want to pick. They all have the same meaning. Chapter 11, verse 1, interesting number. This is a book whose verses are perfected and then presented in detail from one who is wise and acquainted. Chapter 6, verse 38. We have not neglected in the book a thing. Chapter 16, verse 89, and we have sent down to you the book as clarification for all things. Do you see where I'm going here? And there's more. There's plenty more. All of these issues that come within the Islamic community are coming out of Hadith. They're not coming out of the Quran. The reason why the entire world is not Muslim is because of Hadith. Hadith is disrespecting the prophets. Now, that being said, there is a quite large community of people who already know and already understand this. They're just too scared to speak out. And don't come at me with like, oh, you've been Muslim 5 minutes crap. Because yes, that is entirely true. And how did you not see this sooner? If it's been a year since I reverted and I've seen all this and I've been able to know this and I kept it in the back of my mind for 6 months and really checked everything, how was I able to come up with this sooner than you?
Yeah, I apologize for the sound. I think the video itself, the video quality, the sound for the video itself is very down. So I tried increasing the volume, but it wasn't enough. So I apologize for those who couldn't hear it well, but it seems you were supposed to increase the volume on your end. You get the point. So for people who don't know who Draven is, yes, there's a guy in the comment section, Milo, is actually saying something concerning Draven and something like this. Milo says, weird how a guy that used to worship Satan is more knowledgeable than so-called Muslims. It depends. If you say so-called Muslims, yeah, the mushriks. This is how I want you to differentiate the words when you say so-called Muslims. Mushriks. Muslim is just an Arabic word, right? So you speaking can also be a Muslim as well. So you say so-called Muslims, right? If you say the mushriks, yeah. Okay, so that was Draven. For people who don't know who he is, this guy used to say he works with the devils, the jinns, and so on, spirits, and so on. He has a lot of videos concerning the devil, Satan, as a devil worshiper, like mostly like that. Even the way he dresses is more like the idea for those who do the metallic, those who follow the band, the rock, and the rock type of music, and he dresses that kind of style, But it seems he has curiosity for reading, investigating spiritual matters and connection, how to connect with spirits and so on. So through his investigation, he ended up investigating the Quran. And the things he has to say about the Quran is remarkable, right? I have watched a couple of his videos and what he was saying about the Quran and how unique he thinks the Quran is. And this is one of the amazing aspects of the Quran that most people don't understand. Of course, mushriks will not see it that way because they were born and raised in a different life cycle. You understand? Since they were kids, they've been told you can't understand this book unless we add the garbage books for you. You understand? So this is the programming. This is how they grew up with. You know, understand? So they cannot think outside the box. You know, one way or the other, most of us have been in the same cycle, but God decided to guide us out of it. And sometimes God gives you the chance to see the light, because Quran chapter 16 verse 104, God says he will not guide those who do not believe in his verses. So it starts with the initiative of believing in what God says. That is how to differentiate between being a mushrik and being a Muslim, right? So if you're willing to believe in the words of God, that is what takes the veil out of your eyes. And you are like, how come these people don't see what I'm seeing? You're like, this is so clear. Like, this is very clear. How come I don't see? How come I can see it, but they don't? Yes, God says, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Quran chapter 36, when you read from verse 1 to verse 11, God spoke about how people have been, God has put a seal in front of them and behind them, and they have been covered, so they will not see, because they already chose the way of disbelief. You understand? So when you read Quran chapter 16 verse 104 and you topple it by 105, you got to understand it is only those who disbelieve in the verses of God. They are the ones who invent falsehood, or they fabricate falsehood, because they don't believe in what God says. Quran chapter 16 verse 104, God says if you don't believe in his verses, he will not guide you. It's a fact. How can God guide you when you don't believe in his words? You understand? How? You want him to force your neck? No, God does not force people. He said it clearly in Quran chapter 13 verse 11. He does not change the condition of the people unless the people are willing to change what is in them. This is how it works. And that's why God does. If God had will, he can force all of us to believe. But that's not how it works. He has given you free will to decide. So that is why he wants you to listen, see, watch, listen, and reason. So that when the human being lacks the capacity of reasoning, then he's kaput. Yeah. With the moment the human being lacks this capacity, then he's kaput in the head. There's nothing you can say to this kind of person that will make him focus on what you're saying or reason with you. You understand? We saw what Abraham did to his people when they were worshiping idols. He broke the idols down and he left one for them. They kind of reason with him a bit, but then they are like, no way. How can this young guy like this tell us what is right or something? You understand? So that is the issue. So going back to the video of Draven, what he said, I'm going to take what he said step by step. But let me see, what am I missing? Hassan Zarura says what? He said, best Baba Shrib, don't you think that Kaaba is a graveyard and maybe they buried the prophet there, so we worship him? I don't need to assume. Like, you have to deal with facts, things you can prove. It's not about assumption, right? As most of assumption, according to God, is a sin, because you are going to cause people to fall into, an evil trend where it's not there. So that is why Quran deals with the truth, and truth is something that you can verify. That is what we call haqq. So anything I cannot verify, I don't just sit down and assume. Just like the hypocrites among us who say Jesus has a father, they just assume, right? That's what they do. Assume. They can never prove it. So they assume, and then they tell you Isa has a father. If you tell them proof where Isa has a father, then they just go and assume. Say, oh, Quran chapter 6, verse 47, verse 48, he says some of their fathers are guide, like that. Yeah. So let's not assume. Let's deal with fact, things we can prove. If we cannot prove, leave it aside, right? Find the proof. So let's go on the video of what Draven said, right? So back to Draven.
There is a major issue with the Islamic community, and
So he says there is a major issue with the Islamic community, but what he doesn't know is a mushrik community. It's not Islamic community. Islamic community do not have that problem. Bye. Good night, Nur Melanie. Islamic community does not have this issue. No. This is a mushrik community. The Sunnis, the Shia, the Qadiriya, the Gadadiyya, and so on. They are the ones who have the issue. So we are going to see this issue he's talking about, right? He gives a title to the video and he says the Hadith is destroying Islam. So sometimes, this is why I don't like calling the Hadith Hadith, because Quran is the Hadith. But people sometimes don't know the difference. So they took the trend of using the Hadith, the Hadith, the Hadith, the Hadith. You know, so one time when I put one of the titles of my video, and then I said the Hadith rejectors are going to hell. What did I say? I said something like this. The Hadith rejectors are not Muslims. Yes, that's the title I used. Some foolish people out of the hypocrites we have didn't understand what title is. You don't judge a book by the cover. So the title is just to get the people to click and watch the video. Then you get to understand what is being said. The Hadith rejectors are not Muslim means the Hadith is the Quran. That if you watch, anybody who watched that video I just spoke about, it's on my page. I was talking about the Quran being the Hadith. So if you reject the Hadith of the Quran, you are not a Muslim. That's what I meant. So now, when he says the Hadith is destroying Islam, me that I have understand that the Quran is the Hadith, it might not sound well to me. The Quran does not destroy Islam because the Quran is actually the best Hadith. So if the Quran is the best Hadith, it means Quran is the winner. Any other Hadith is garbage. Quran is the winner. When I say garbage, people don't understand what I mean. Let me maximize this. Let me clear your thoughts. When I say Hadiths are garbage books, the Hadith books are comedy books, garbage books, and so on. Let me show you why. You see, when somebody is rich and is willing to use, let's say, Lamborghini or Chrysler or Rolls Royce, I'm just giving an example. If that person is capable of buying Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, and so on, and you go and bring him, what car can I bring which is of low value? Some outdated car, maybe Fiat or Golf or Mini Golf. Yeah, let me just use. I'm sorry in case anybody is using Mini Golf. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean it's a bad car, but you have to cut your coat according to your size. You understand? Or Kia or Fiat. Yeah, or Hyundai and so on. I'm sorry, guys, if you are using this guys. I just don't mean I'm just using it. Damn, this example is very bad. Anyways, let's go. It's okay. But can you imagine the rich man going to use Fiat or Golf? You understand? No, the rich man is beyond that. To him, that he will tell you this is trash. I'm not joking. Salam, Sister Diana, you're welcome. To the rich man, that Fiat or the Golf you're talking about is garbage. You understand? It doesn't mean somebody else might not see value in it. Listen to the logic. Somebody else might see value in the trash the rich man sees as trash. Yes. So if you are Hadith, you have been polluted by the Hadith book, and you think there's guidance there for you, and it shows you how to sleep with your wife, how to wipe your ass after 20, how to bury the dead. Okay, then you just go and take your Hadith and do that. Are you getting my point? But the rich man does not need that Golf or this Fiat. He doesn't need that. He needs Rolls Royce. He needs Chrysler. He needs Lamborghini, Ferrari. So if he has Ferrari, why are you telling the rich man to go for this Fiat and Mini Golf? For what? It's an insult to the rich man. So this analogy I'm giving you is when you go to Quran chapter 17 verse 9, God says, indeed, this Quran guides to that which is more appropriate. Inna haza al-Quran yadi lillati hiya aqwam, more appropriate. And God in chapter 39 verse 23 calls the book the best hadith. So the Quran deserves the title to be called the hadith. So if I have the Quran as the best book for guidance, and it's called the hadith, anything you bring to me is trash. Why can't the mushriks understand the simple language Baba Shoaib is speaking? To me, your book is garbage. Look, wallahi. To me, your book is trash. It's worthless. What do I mean by garbage books? They are worthless books. Because if it has worth, why will I leave something God calls the best to come and follow your worthless message? Are you getting my logic here? So that is what I mean by garbage books, comedy books. And it's comedy books. The book which will tell you the prophet was just, he saw and he went to the cave. Imagine, they say he's married to Khadija. I think according to them, she was 40 and he was 25, right? And imagine leaving your wife and going to the mountains in a cave. To do what? You have a beautiful wife at home and you are going to the mountain in the cave. To do what? And then they say the angel came to him and said, Ikra, Ikra. And then Ma'ana Bikari. And then he ran away and he went home. And he went hiding behind his... He went hiding behind his wife. And by the way, they said he's married to a businesswoman. And then they said the prophet himself was a businessman. But the same people say he cannot read and write. And he cannot read and write. Businessman who cannot read and write. Cannot read. This is comedy. Why can't people see this? You don't see the comedy? And then they say he's married to a 6-year-old girl and consummated the marriage when she was 9 years. And then you see the foolish mushrik saying she's matured at 9 years. 9 years, matured at 9 years. Hey. They say she's matured. Anyways, let's go. So what Draven was saying, I misspoke. What I said 39:23, right? Maybe I made a slip of a tongue, but it's 39:23, Surah to Zumar. So let's go back to Draven, right?
I haven't been speaking out about it because
So Draven says he hasn't been speaking out about it. Yes, because the issue, because the mushriks, what they do is when you have a large following, they come to your page as a knapsack, like bags. You know how in the summertime when you put a bio waste, you see how the bags, they come to your bio waste for those based in the Western world and so on. You see when you leave a bio waste, you see how the flies, the bugs come to the bio waste. That's how Hadithiyuns, they come to your platform when they discover that you're trying to understand Islam in the beginning. Yes, they troop to your page like this. As soon as you start saying something which goes against their Hadith books, oh my God, you are the devil. They tag you as, go to my page. You watch my video. Thank you for the gift. All those sending me the gift on TikTok. I appreciate that. Go to how do you call it? My page. Any video you watch concerning me and Mami Grace. Anybody who has watched my video with Mami Grace, whether it's a short, a reel, just go to the comment section. Any of my videos that I did with Mami Grace, just go to the comment section. It's either they call me devil, Dajjal, Antichrist. They said this guy is lost. May God guide him. He's evil. This guy is... Hey, mushriks. Why? I don't know their description of a devil. Who a devil is. I don't know how they define a devil. Okay, so let's go.
I was just unsure. And now
So he said he's just unsure. I don't know. Can I increase the volume of this video? Okay, let me speak over it, because the volume of his video is very low, right?
I'm at the point where I'm completely certain that this issue does exist.
So now he's at a point that where he's completely certain that this issue in Islam does exist, right? That we have people who don't want you to speak about this issue concerning Hadith and the Quran, right?
Now, this issue revolves around the Hadith. Now,
so the issue is going to speak about evolves around the Hadith. And when I say the Hadith, I mean the garbage books, right? He's just saying the Hadith, but the garbage books.
I've mentioned it briefly a couple times where I've said that, oh, maybe there's some Hadith that are beneficial, but I'm against some of them. And I never was very clear about this.
This is the trick the devil lays down for you to make you think, oh, there are some Hadiths which are good. You know, if it is good, it cannot say it better than the Quran. Remember, Quran is the best. So it is only a fool that you give him two options, and you give him the best option and something which is below the best, and he chooses below and leave the best. Yeah. Only a fool does that. When you are given the best option and something which is not the best, you have to choose the best. Simple. It takes a fool to choose what is less than best. You have been given the best option, the best offer available. You leave the best, you say, I'll go for the lame one. Why? Only a fool chooses what is, you know. So now he's trying to decipher the issue and speak about it bluntly. And this is where the hatred started coming straight against him. And I'm going to play the video of the opposition, two oppositions who spoke against him. And I think I've tackled one of them before, but I'm going to tackle again, delving into the Quran. So let's see the issue.
The Hadith is the work of the devil.
So he says the Hadith is the work of the devil. He has to say the Hadith, the comedy Hadith books or fabricated Hadith books are the work of the devil. If you said the Hadith is the work of the devil, for people who have studied deeper, we know the Quran is actually the Hadith. You might indirectly be speaking against the Quran, but his intention is what matters. The intention is it is speaking against the garbage books, not the Hadith as in the Quran.
And when I say that, I truly mean it. And the Quran tells us to go against Hadith.
Yeah, it's true. He said when he says that, he truly means it. And the Quran tells us to go against the Hadith. Quran chapter 45 verse 6. فَبِأَيِّ حَدِيثِ بَعْدَ اللَّهِ وَآيَاتِهِ يُؤْمِنُونَ. After God and his verses, in which Hadith will they believe? That's a question mushriks don't want to answer. And what they do is they will twist the verses to suit their agenda. Then they will tell you, oh, it's not talking about the Hadith of Bukhari and so. But Bukhari and so never existed at the time of the Prophet. Bukhari came 199 years after the Prophet. That's when he started writing Hadith books. 199 years after the Prophet. Then you claim that book is part of Islam, all of the sudden. And decided by who? They say our scholars. Our scholars. Our scholars. Didn't you learn the lesson of what the scholars did to the children of Israel? The same scholars misled a lot of people among the children of Israel. You never learned any lesson. You keep repeating our ulama, the consensus of the ulama, the ijma, the ulama says this, the fuqaha, and so, hey, mushriks. And trying to Arabize the English language and putting their comedy. Hey.
Quran directly tells us that everything is in the book. So
yes, Quran has everything meaning for your guidance. Listen carefully. When we say everything is in the book, it doesn't mean my phone, my Bluetooth phone is there. It doesn't mean my Wi-Fi network. No, it's not talking about that. Everything meaning concerning your guidance. Quran chapter 16, verse 89. He says, وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبِيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. We have revealed the book to you as a clarification, exposition for all things, as guidance and mercy for the what? Submitters, right? So it is for the submitters who submit to God. You have everything you need there concerning your guidance of Islam. That is what we're talking about.
If you're one of those people that think we need Hadith, you're going against the Quran.
So if you are among those people who think, listen to the word he used, who think, meaning they assume we need the Hadith, it means you are going against the Quran, because it's not the Quran which told you to go for the Hadith books. Quran never suggested to anybody. The foolish mushriks, what they do is they will say, Atiu Allah wa Atiu Rasul. So Allah is Quran, Rasul is the messenger. If you ask them who explained it, the Rasul is the Hadith. If you ask them, who explained it this way for you? It wasn't the Prophet. Nowhere did the Prophet himself said, God is the Quran, Rasul is the Hadith. It is their ulama giving them this nonsense again. Do you see the problem?
You are not a Muslim. You are something different.
Thank you. So now imagine somebody who was once just worshiping jinns and so on, just becomes a Muslim. Then all of a sudden he made this bold statement and he told the mushriks, you are not a Muslim. You are just something else. Just imagine the heartbreak the mushriks are going to have over this. They're like, who the hell is this white boy? He's trying to tell us we are not Muslims? Ha! Then that is when they come in your comment section. They will throw all the tantrums, all the hula balu, the heebie-jeebie words, all against you. By the way, I love such comments. When I go to my TikTok, when I take my phone, when I take my phone like this and I go to my YouTube, Facebook, and I'm checking comments, when people hurl insult or throw their emotional tantrums at me, I just love it. I just watch it, I read, then I just type emotional mushrik, confused mushrik, mumu mushrik, wawam banza. I write, then I just hit the nerve. Hey, mushriks, seriously, they have been programmed. They're just like computer programming. They've been programmed is that they are very, very sensitive and emotional. Yes, they are. Oh, of course, in real life, I will not do that. Please don't go anywhere in real life calling them mushriks and so on. They will strip you naked. Don't do that, please. It is social media. Social media, everybody has the freedom to type what they want. So let anybody type what he wants, right? But don't go physically and go calling them mushriks and so on. Yeah, my God. Okay, let's go.
We're going to start with chapter 6, verse 114. Since we can all agree on the Quran now.
Yeah, sure. We can do factory reset. Actually, most of my videos, I use the hashtag factory reset because this is something that I thought of. And I think mushriks, a lot of mushriks need the factory reset, not the ones who the hard disk is damaged, not that. I'm talking about mushriks who are somewhere in the 50-50 column, right? Let's go.
How the Hadith is incorrect and why it got this way, that's kind of stuff I'll speak on later. But first, we're going to go to the one thing we agree on, which is the Quran.
Thank you. So first, he's using logic and reasoning. This is how God wants a believer to reason. You have to use logic, rationality. You understand? Reasoning is the very essential. It's one of the most essential aspects of the human being. Reasoning. Yes, you listen and reason. I do have a lot of videos I've done on such instance, right? You listen and reason. Listen and reason. Mushriks are not that good at this. No. I think they do vice versa. They reason and listen. They don't listen and reason. They reason. So they reason by how to make noise, counterattack you, shout at you. That's how they reason. Then they listen, and you ask them, "Did you hear what I said?" They are like, "What did you say?" They're like, "I didn't hear what you said." They are not even listening to you. That's how mushriks have been programmed, right? So let's take the first instance. The guy is using logic. Let's take the first instance. You agree with the Quran, right? Okay. So Sunnis, Shia, everybody, you agree with the Quran, right? Okay, let's start with the Quran. But in their logic, they've been told you cannot understand the Quran without the Hadith. So even if you say, let's start with the Quran, you are still telling them, let's start with the Hadith. That is how the brain has been. I think the side, like doctors need to check the brain of mushriks, how it's arranged in the head. I don't know. It could be in a different formula, right?
Chapter 6, verses 114. It is he who has revealed to you the book explained in detail.
So he's talking about chapter 6, verse 114, Surah Al-An'am, where he says, shall I seek a judge other than God while he is the one who has revealed to you the book explained in detail, or we can say elaborated, right?
Chapter 6, verse 115. And the word of your Lord has been fulfilled.
So chapter 6, verse 115. The word of your Lord is complete in truth and justice. So the verses are connected. Chapter 114 is connected to, chapter 6, verse 114 is connected to 115. They are connected like this, right? So he's reading the full context to that, right?
In truth and in justice, none can change his words, and it is he, the hearing, the knowing. And it doesn't matter what translation you want to pick, they all have the same meaning.
Yeah.
Chapter 11, verse 1, interesting number.
So you see, he's going through the Quran, taking out, this is when they will start classifying this guy as a Quranist. And remember, mushriks, they hate a Quranist more than anybody. The mushriks, they hate somebody who follows the Quran alone for guidance more than anybody. I can tell you for a fact, mushriks hate the Quran alone followers more than even Fir'auna or the devil. And that is why when you are a Quran alone follower, they insult you as a devil. They call you Dajjal, they call you devil. Yes, to them, you are on the same level. Are you getting the point? You're on the same level. Now,
this is a book whose verses are perfected and then presented in detail from one who is wise and acquainted.
So he's reading the verses, chapter 11, verse 1, where God is telling you the verses have been mastered, meaning perfected. Uhkimat ayatu. The verses have been perfected, mastered, right? And it has been elaborated by who? By God himself. So he's reading these verses. So he's wondering, how come mushriks don't see such verses like this?
Chapter 6, verse 38. We have not neglected in the book a thing. Chapter 16, verse 89.
He kept reading the verses which are clear enough to be seen by even the mushriks. But remember, they have glasses, dark glasses that they cannot see through.
And we have sent down to you the book as clarification for all things. Do you see where I'm going here? And there's more. There's plenty more.
Drevon, we actually see where you are going. We, the ones who are willing to submit to God alone and through the book of God alone, yes, we see where you're going. But this is not enough evidence for mushriks. And I'm going to play the counter video and you are going to listen.
All of these issues that come within the Islamic community are coming out of Hadith. They're not coming out of the Quran. The reason why the entire world is not Muslim is because of Hadith. Hadith is disrespectful.
The reason why the entire world is not Muslim is because of the Hadith. That's not true. That's not true, right? The entire world cannot be Muslims. It's impossible for the entire world to be Muslims. The devil will not allow that, right? We imagine the devil just being there 24 hours and you expect him to just allow everybody to be guided. No. The devil is playing his part. So not everybody will be willing to follow the Quran, regardless of if there is no Hadith. Still, people will have something to say against the Quran. We understand? So when it comes to disbelief, it is not a matter of just the Hadith books. The Hadith books is just one of the side of the issue, but not the major issue at hand. Those Hadith books, they are followed.
Respecting the prophets. Now that being said,
so the moment you speak against their Hadith books, they automatically translate it as if you are insulting or disrespecting the prophet. This is how all the mushriks have been programmed to think. Because if you say I reject hadith, it means you reject marrying the 6-year-old girl. So it's a disrespect to the Prophet. If you say I reject hadith, it means you reject he sleeping with 11 women or 9 women in one night. It means you are disrespecting the Prophet. So this is how they translate things you say. You understand? That is the game of fallacy. They twist your words to accuse you of something you never said.
Said there is a quite large community of people who already know and already understand this. They're just too scared to speak out.
So there is already a large community of people who already understand what he is saying. Yeah, it's true. We understand what he is saying. Most people are scared to speak out on this. Yes, it's a fact. Depending on the zones or places you are located, imagine being in the northern part of Nigeria. Imagine being in an extreme part of one part of Pakistan. Imagine being another extreme part of Bangladesh. Imagine being another extreme part of Malaysia or Indonesia or India, or you name it, or Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Bahrain, and so on, and see what will happen to you. You understand?
And don't come at me with like, oh, you've been Muslim 5 minutes crap.
Yeah, eventually, Drevon, they will come at you, and that is what will gain you the popularity. This is what will give you the popularity. Look, the people who share my videos the most are my opposition. Yes. The people who share my videos on TikTok, I have close to 80,000 followers on TikTok, right? The people who share my videos the most are the opposition. I'm serious. I'm telling you for a fact. Look, I'm doing a live stream right now. I have about 110 people watching me live. I have about 80 people watching me live on TikTok, right? So let's say roughly this is about 200 people watching me. I can tell you for a fact the people who watch me regularly and support what I do are not even up to 1,000 followers. Yeah. So the rest are just opposition. You understand? They hate what I'm doing, but they feel like what I'm saying is the truth, but they just hate the fact that I'm saying it. But they will subscribe to the page just to be watching. And those people are waiting for you to slip up. They are waiting for you to say, and guess what? Let me tell you one fact right now. I learned this from my TikTok page. When I do videos against the Christians, the pagan Christians, we will have the mushriks, the Sunnis and the Shia and the so on. They give me thumbs up. They say, oh, today I agree with you, Baba Shaib. Today you have said something sensible. That's what they write to me. So when I see the comment, I just laugh. And these same pagan Christians, when I speak against pagan Christians, also, I'm not talking about all Christians, but pagan Christians, then you find out that, when I speak against the mushriks, you find out that these pagan Christians will also come and give me thumbs up. They say, Baba Shaib, I love your teachings, even though I'm a Christian. Then they write to me there. This same mega hypocrites we have, the hypocrites we have among us who are saying Jesus has a father and so on, also them. When I'm hitting the mushriks very hard, these same hypocrites will come and cheer Baba Shaib. Baba Shaib, I love your videos. This part when you are doing, I agree with you 100%. When I turn the tables around and hit the mega hypocrites, I hate this guy. I'm not following his page again. I subscribe. This guy, then they become emotional. So this is how the truth works. I'm telling you, this is something I've experienced. So in life, this is why God says he has brought us the truth, but most people hate the truth. That is why they become emotional. You understand? So this put me at the laughing end. I start laughing at them. When people throw emotional insult and hailing such words, I just laugh, because what do you expect from me? It is laughable for me. I just need to laugh because it's an amusement. Seriously. Baba Shaib doesn't care which party you belong. I just need to speak the truth and go my way. You agree with me, who cares? You don't agree with me, fine, that's up to you. You say I'm lying, Baba Shaib is sitting here. You said I'm lying, right? I sat here to speak that thing you said I'm lying. Why are you scared to face me? Hello, why are you scared to face Baba Shuaib? Oh, yeah, you know your platform, you are the one controlling it, so I don't need. Hey, just say you are scared. That's all. Just say you are scared to face Baba Shuaib in front of his audience and prove to Baba Shuaib in front of his audience. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. When Moses wanted to face Pharaoh to prove to him that God sent him, where did Moses go? Where did he go to face Pharaoh? Is it not the Pharaoh himself who arranged the match for Moses to come in front of him and present the argument? Wasn't that Pharaoh who organized everything for Moses to come in front of him and present the argument so that in front of Pharaoh, everybody will see that Moses is truthful? So now, why are you guys scared to face Baba Shuaib on my platform? I sat here to say whatever I said, you said I'm lying. You said I'm misleading the people. Why can't they have the nerve, the guts to come and face me on my platform? Does it make sense to you? Do you get what I'm saying? Simple. So if you go and sit in your small space and you say Baba Shuaib is misleading people, he's lying the people, out of your hypocrisy, you've been sharing my own videos. You share my videos, you give me thumbs up, you praise me, you share my videos, and then you come back again, you say, oh, Baba Shuaib is misleading people. That's a hypocrite. So when I say we have mega hypocrites among us, this is what I meant by that. Yes, they hide and watch me. They are scared. So let's go back to the video.
Because yes, that is entirely true. And how did you not see this sooner? If it's been a year since I reverted and I've seen all this and I've been able to know this and I kept it in the back of my mind for 6 months and really checked everything, how was I able to come up with this sooner than you?
Thank you. Because the veil was taken out of your eyes, so you were able to see the light straight. Because God explains this in Quran chapter 14 verse 1. This is what God says in chapter 14 verse 1. Let me put it on the screen. Then you see why you get to see the light and people don't see it. So I put it on the screen. This is the verse. In Quran chapter 14 verse 1, God says, a book which we have revealed to you in order to bring the people out of darknesses into the light. Then he says, by the permission of their Lord, to the path of the Almighty, the praiseworthy. Do you see why you will see it? And like I said here, Quran chapter 16, verse 104. This is what God says. God says, indeed, those who do not believe in the verses of God, God will not guide them, and they will have a painful punishment. So if you automatically, you don't believe in the words of God, the verses of God, why do you expect God to guide you? And in order for God to guide you, then he told you in Quran chapter 45, verse 11, he says, Haza Huda. He says, this is guidance. Because if you believe in his words, and now he is telling you this is guidance, and those who disbelieve in the verses of their Lord will have the torment of a painful punishment. Eventually, I need to believe what God is saying because I believe in his verses, and then now he's telling me this is guidance. I believe. Because he said in Quran chapter 2, verse 38, this is what he says. He says, descend therefrom altogether, and when guidance comes to you from me, that is from God, thus whoever will follow my guidance, listen carefully, my guidance, not Sahih Bukhari, not anybody's guidance, not the guidance of Muhammad, because the mushrik says the best form of guidance is the guidance of Muhammad. Wallahi lazim. This is what the mushrik said. Wallahi. The mushriks, they said the best form of guidance is the guidance of Muhammad. Now God is telling us my guidance, not the guidance of Muhammad. So thus whoever will follow my guidance, not the guidance of Sahih Bukhari, then he says there will be no fear upon them, nor will they grieve. So if I believe in the words of God and the verses of God, these are pretty much clear. I don't need glasses. Of course, when I wear glasses, I will see it better. But this is the point. Hey, where are my glasses? I think the mushriks trying to come and steal my glasses. How do I look? So you see, even with the glasses is even much better. I don't need glasses, but glasses make it much better. So descend therefrom altogether, and when guidance comes to to you from me that whoever will follow my guidance, there will be no fear upon them, nor will they grieve. Can you imagine the mushriks? They have a lot of people wearing glasses like this, but they don't see. I think they need the magnifier also. To be honest, the mushriks, a lot of them, they wear glasses. You have never seen it. They wear glasses to read the Quran, but they still don't see it. Because God spoke about the blindness in Quran chapter 22. It is not the blindness of the eyes, but the heart. So when you are blind, it's not actually from the eyes. It's from the heart. So that is why Quran chapter 47 verse 24, this is what God says. In Quran chapter 47 verse 24, God says, "Afala yatadabbaruna al-Quran." Then he says, "Am ala qulubin akfaluha." He says, do they then not contemplate the Quran, or are there locks upon their hearts? Do they have locks on their hearts? You see the point? So the reality here is what Drevon is talking about is, forget about they reading the Quran for 1,000 years, or how many years. If you're blind, you're blind. It doesn't matter what magnifier glass you wear or what type of glass you want to use. When you're blind, you're blind. It is the heart which is blind, not the eyes, actually. You understand? So this is why even a blind man came to the prophet in Quran chapter 80. When you read verse 1 downwards, he came to the prophet for guidance at the time of the prophet. Right? So guidance is not about the eyes, actually. So forget about the mushriks reading the Quran 1,000 times, say memorizing the Quran 1,000 times is useless because the heart is blind. Right? So let's go back. Okay, so now I'm going to put up the rebuttal, the videos these mushriks did against him, because this is what they do. Normally, they will just chance upon you straight up, and then they come for you. They say this guy is trying to mislead people, he's trying to do this. That's what they do. Yeah, thank you very much, Imran Khan. Thank you. I know it's late. Try to get some rest. I appreciate your support. Thank you. God bless you. Yes. So let's go. Yeah, thank you very much, Karim. So now let's go on the rebuttals these people did against him, trying to refute what he said, because they found out that he has a large following. Because normally, when you have a large following, these people become, it strikes them, right? Yes. The moment you have a large following, it strikes them. So now they are quick to just try to throw the response and so on. So now, look at the first video done against this guy.
Work of the devil.
Firstly, apologies for my messy hair. I was having a nap. Bluntly, this is what happens when your understanding of Islam is not tempered by scholarly background, scholarly bodies, or an understanding of the Arabic language. So let's start with the aqli proof, the logical proof. Now these people, they will say that the Quran says in the text that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect and preserve the Quran. And alhamdulillah, this is true. However, a text cannot confirm its own preservation without having an external way of confirming that. It would be like trying to plug an extension cord into itself. So how do we know that the Quran is preserved? Well, via the isnad and tawatur, via the chains of narration and mass transmission. And we have different narrations for the qira'ah of Quran, for the recitations of the Quran, all of them tawatur. For example, I recite in Warsh and Nafi'. Most other people will recite in Hafs and Asim. They're all correct. So the methodology that Allah has chosen to preserve the Quran via the Salaf and the Khalaf, those who came before and those who came afterwards, is isnad, chains of transmission. Guess what else was preserved in the same way? Yes, the Hadith. So if you deny the Hadith, which was brought to us by the same narrators who brought us the Quran, you will have to deny the Quran eventually. But hey, perhaps you don't want to use logic, your aql. Perhaps you want to use text, your naql, you knuckleheads. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَمَا أَنزَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَالْحِكْمَةِ يَعِظُكُمْ بِهِ واتقوا الله واعلموا أن الله بكل شيء عليم. Now notice first that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says أنزلنا, what has been revealed, tanzeel. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the book, the Quran, and the hikmah, the wisdom, meaning that Allah has revealed two things, two distinct and separate things, the book and the wisdom. You can't say the Quran is the wisdom because Allah does not speak in redundancies. And we know that the hikmah has to be something sent with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Allah says, كَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا فِيكُمْ رَسُولًا مِّنكُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ آياتنا ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة ويعلمكم ما لم تكونوا تعلمون. Now what's the only other thing that the Prophet ﷺ came with beside the Quran? The Sunnah. And what's the only thing that contains the Sunnah? The Hadith. Now you might say, well, the actions of the people that are passed down contain the Sunnah. Yeah, they're acting on the Hadith. And lastly, when you say, oh, but the Quran has said that it contains everything already. Yes, and the Quran commands you to obey Allah and obey the Messenger. Now, why would Allah tell you to obey Allah and obey the Messenger if they're going to be one and the same and it's just following the Quran? Clearly, Allah is telling us, follow the Quran and follow the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Remember that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us of people like you, that a man will hold up the book of Allah and say, we only need this, and will make no mention of the Sunnah.
God have mercy upon us. God have mercy upon us.
The guy who just spoke, his name is Kohari, right? Kohari. I don't know if he's the junior version of Yasser Kadi. You know Yasser Kadi, right? That confused Bozo also. I don't know if that guy is an aspiring junior version of Yasser Kadi. I don't know. But throughout what he said, I'm going to show you the problematic statement he said. When these guys think that they are genius in the head, but they are foolish, but they don't see it, right? So let me show you something. Listen to what he said. I'm going to take it step by step. You listen to what he said.
Hadith is the work of the devil.
Firstly, apologies for my messy hair. I was having a nap.
He says, firstly, apologies for my messy hair. I was having a nap. That's how your hair is. There's nothing messy about it. It has always been like that. So if you think you're having a nap, that's how your hair is, by the way. You are not a woman to say you are going to fix your hair or something. But let's go. He is saying that as a counter to just mock driven. But let's see if he can stand the test of time.
Bluntly, this is what happens when your understanding of Islam is not tempered by scholarly backgrounds.
So that's a problem. He said bluntly, this is what happens when your understanding of Islam is not tempered by the scholarly bodies. But which scholars is he talking about? When you mean scholarly bodies, which scholars are you talking about? Are you talking about Quran chapter 17 verse 30 says, God says, وَلَا تَخْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. Do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. That's how God wants us to become scholars, because you have to be learned in what you do. Because he gave you the hearing, the eyesight, and the mind, all those will be held accountable thereof. So God wants you to be actually a knowledgeable person. So when you say scholarly, what are you talking about? How did the scholars become scholars? Is it not true was it not true studies that they studied and became knowledgeable? So why can't another person do study and see the truth for himself again and what? The guy literally made a full video to show you the reason why he thinks Quran is enough. Now you are saying that is why you play the first statement from his video and you say that is why one needs a scholarly what?
Scholarly bodies or an understanding of the Arabic language. So let's
Scholarly bodies or the understanding of Arabic language. We are going to see if he is going to utilize the Arabic language throughout his video. And again, we are going to see if the scholarly bodies he is talking about, do they have authority to authorize any form of understanding from the Quran? These two things he just laid down. That was his argument. This guy, the Kahari, this was his argument. Two arguments, right? Scholarly bodies and then understanding of Arabic language. So now, correctional officer is going to put him to scrutiny.
start with the aqli proof, the logical proof.
Okay, akali, that is logical proof. We are talking about reasoning, but let's go.
Now these people, they will say that the Quran says in the text that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect and preserve the Quran. And alhamdulillah,
When you've watched Drivon's video. I played Drivon's video, right? This guy now just started making an allegation in totality to talk about the Quran alone followers. So then he quoted chapter 15, verse 9. Inna nahnu nazzalna zikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. So he quoted that, and now he's trying to say that since God says he revealed the zikra, the remembrance, and then he is the one to preserve it. So that argument doesn't stand the test of time. So let's see his logic.
alhamdulillah, this is true. However,
Now, you quoted the verse and you said this is true. Now, mostly they will use but. Yes. If it is true, leave it at it. Leave the statements as it is. 1 + 1, 2. Leave it as it is. What do you want to do? Now, so he has exchanged the word but because they like to use the word but. So when you watch, for those watching the video, you see he wrote however. This is equivalent to the word but. Do you see what he wrote? But when he was stating the statement, he said now, because he exchanged the word because they are used to saying but. So but is same as however, right? So now, this is how mushriks have been programmed. They will agree with the truth, then they play the straw man fallacy argument because it is agreeing to disagree. Agreeing to disagree. 1 + 1, 2, but 1 + 1, 2, however. 1 + 2, wait. Now, this is how mushriks have been programmed. So when it comes to logical reasoning, they fail even. They don't know how to apply logic in a conversation. Yes. No. And that is why when you have a dialogue with them, they like to make noise. And same goes with the mega hypocrites among us. Yes, same. You have dialogue with them, making noise. They are not listening to a logical argument. The mega hypocrites are the same, like that.
a text cannot confirm its own preservation without having an external way of confirming that.
According to who? He says, however, oh my God, these mushriks, they are amazing. Oh my God. He says, a text cannot confirm its own preservation except another text. Hey. Hey. The Constitution of America or Britain, Great Britain, or you mentioned United Kingdom, UK, or Finland, the constitution is written in the book. So the constitution already written cannot confirm itself, its preservation or anything, unless we go and find a different text which has to now confirm the validity of that whatever constitution and that written in that whatever. These mushriks, guys, do you remember Prince Mushrik? When he said, when you go to court, you need a lawyer. So the Hadith is the lawyer for the Quran. I'm serious. So this is how their reasoning works. I don't know where they get this logic for. When he said this statement, imagine if I was with him in a dialogue and I said, according to who? He said, however, a text cannot what?
A text cannot confirm its
own preservation. Listen carefully.
own preservation without having an external way
Without having an external way of
confirming that.
Of confirming them. According to who? Now, according to who? So if that is the case, the Hadith books you have also. The external way of confirming them, how do you confirm your garbage Hadith books also? So your garbage Hadith books are supposed to confirm what? The Quran? So who now the external way of confirming your garbage books, what are we going to do? Let's apply the same logic. It's a reverse angle. So a text cannot confirm its own validity so unless another external hey. No, I cannot be in the brain. I cannot even use the brain of a mushrik for once. I'm done. It doesn't work. Hey, no, Babu Shahab, you can't put your brain in the position of a mushrik. I don't know how they reason. Hey, and this book need external validation to prove that. So they said the Hadith is the one to prove the Quran validity. So what about the Hadith? Who proved the validity? We have to go and look for Imam Bukhari. Yeah. This logic seems to work for them.
It would be like trying to plug an extension cord into itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have not seen me before. An extension cord can be plugged into itself. You've never seen it before? I can plug it. What kind of analogy is this? Are you comparing that similitude with plugging an extension? He thinks he said something wise. For real, I don't know.
So how do we know that the Quran is preserved?
Then he goes ahead to ask a stupid question. How do we know that the Quran is preserved? Look, this is the answer here. This is what God is saying here. Quran chapter 4 verse 82. He says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Here. Sorry. Let me put it on the screen. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Chapter 4 verse 82. Do they then not contemplate the Quran? Then he says, and had it been from other than God, they would have found numerous contradictions therein, or we can say discrepancies. Apart from that, then God goes ahead. In Quran chapter 41 verse 42, then he tells you, no falsehood can approach it from its front or from it behind, a revelation from the wise and praiseworthy. Then again, we go to Quran chapter 35, verse 31 to verse 32. This is what he says. And what we have inspired to you, which is the prophet, second person pronoun, of the book is the truth, confirming what was before it. Indeed, God to his servants is what? Cognizant and conversant. Then verse 32, then we will cause the book to be inherited, or transmit the book to those we have chosen among our servants. Then among them is one who wrongs himself, and among them is one who is careful, and among them is one who competes in good deeds by the permission of God. That is a great preference. So now, to seal the argument, Quran chapter 10 verse 37, this is what God says. It says, this is not the Quran that could be invented by other than God. However, it is a confirmation of what was before it and an elaboration of the book. There is no doubt therein from the Lord of the worlds. So to seal out this argument concerning having doubts in the book, God says in Quran chapter 18 verse 29, then he says, and say the truth is from your Lord. So whoever wills, let him believe, and whoever wills, let him disbelieve. Who is forcing you? You don't believe that the Quran is preserved by God and is in front of you? You don't believe? That's up to you. Then reject it. Do I need to find somebody's opinion to confirm to me how the process went before I believe in the book? The book is there to speak for itself. Foolish mushriks don't know how to reason, for God's sake. So now they have to be dependent on somebody's hearsay, again from another book. They have to be dependent on somebody's opinion from another book. Not shit.
Via the isnad and tawatur, via the...
So now he is giving you solutions which God never gave him, which the prophet never gave him. Nowhere did the prophet said you can know the preservation of the Quran via the tawatur. That is the chain of narrations. Nowhere. They don't have any hadith book where the prophet said the only way you can know the preservation of the Quran is through the tawatur, through the chain of narrations. He never said that. Nowhere. This is this guy's opinion he's just giving you. So learn how to listen to these bozos when they speak.
Chains of narration and mass transmission.
So this is the opinion the scholars gave them. You can only know the preservation of the Quran through chain of narrations and mass transmission. Okay.
And we have different narrations for the qira'ah of Quran.
And he says we have different narrations for the qira'at, which is also coming from the hadith, telling them all this trash again. An expert in this field, that is, what is his name? This guy, an expert from this field. His name is Yasir Qadi. Yasir Qadi has something to say concerning this issue. Now, this is what Yasir Qadi said. I'm going to play the video. Then you listen to what Yasir Qadi says. Well, these bozos, up and coming bozos, who don't study and don't know what is going on, they take the foolishness of what their predecessors told them, so they don't even verify what these people are telling them. And then they think this their predecessors are actually making sense when they say all this nonsense. So listen to Yasir Qadi.
So the Caliph Uthman standardized the copies of the Quran, and therefore from his time up until our time there has never been two copies of the Quran that are different even in one letter or one word. The Quran is the most protected of all scriptures, and in fact we as Muslims believe that God in his divine wisdom and plan has protected the Quran from any type of alteration.
A few moments later.
And when we say the various different ways to recite the Quran, we are not talking about different voices or different styles. In other words, if you were to compare two printed Qurans, you're going to see differences between them. Not just a voice or not just a speaking style, but also changes in letters and words and harakat.
Brother,
And it's very clear to you and to every single very advanced student and specialist that the standard narrative has holes in it. And I don't think it is wise to bring it up in public, because it should not be said.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is their expert, Yasir Kadi, speaking for himself. But when these people behind him or who are looking up to these people as scholars don't know what is being hidden in the plain sight, they think they have some sense from the Hadith books when they are speaking. I did a video concerning what Yasir Kadi said. I think in my last lecture, previous lecture, you can watch it to see the evidence concerning that, right? So let's go forward.
Quran for the recitations of the Quran, all of them tawatur.
So now they bring the issues of the recitations of the Quran. Then he is saying all of them tawatur. Now, this is why, Baba Shaib, I love my arguments to be presentable. I prove the claims I make and I lay down the evidences. When I'm interacting with people, likewise, that's how I want evidences to be laid down. When people just take a video and think they are making rebuttal, they just say things like it's of no use. You don't get any wisdom in people like this, what they say. You understand? Now, listen.
For example, I recite in Warsh and Nafi. Most other people will.
Then he goes ahead to say, for example, he recites in Nafi's recitation. Then he goes Hafs and Asim.
They're all correct.
Then he says they are all correct. No, brother, they are not all correct. No. Your scholar Yasir Kadi just told you they are not the same. They are holes in the narration. He just told you. And he is telling you, don't bring this in the public. They are not all correct. One must not be from God. One should be from God. And one should not be from God. Don't say they are all correct. How many books God gave you? Or how many recitations God gave you? He gave you one version. Even the Prophet himself, this is what he said. Quran chapter 10, verse 15. He was given only one version of the Quran. This is the answer here. In Quran chapter 10, verse 15, God says, and when our verses are recited to them as evidences, that is as proofs, those who do not hope to meet us say, bring a reading, bring a Quran other than this. They are telling the Prophet that bring a Quran other than this. T-H-I-S. Haza means T-H-I-S, singular, this. So bring a Quran other than this, meaning, then they say, or change it. Listen carefully. His people say, bring a Quran other than this, or change it. Then the messenger was asked to tell his people, say, it is not for me to change it by myself spontaneously. Because nowhere in the Quran did God say he gave different versions of the Quran to Muhammad. He only gave him one Quran. If there was another version, when his people told him, bring a Quran other than this, or change it, the Prophet would say, okay, here you go. This is another version. Take this one. Or take this one. There's another version. Or take that one. I have 7. I have 12. Take this one. Another version, right? Now, he clearly gave them the answer. It is not for me to change it spontaneously by myself. I only follow what is inspired. To me, indeed, I fear the punishment of a terrible day if I should disobey my Lord. That is what the messenger said. The messenger never said, okay, I have another version, so let me bring it. No, one version. And to understand the evidence to that, I did a video on that. I think my last lecture, I gave the evidences on how to understand that. Right? According to the same hypocrite, they said Uthman took all the copies. He took the copy from Hafsa and he bent down all the other copies and it was written in one version only. So if it is written in one version and you the same hypocrite, you trace that same version you are talking about to the Hafs and Hasim. This Hafs copy is the same, it can be traced with the Usman copy you are talking about. It's just one copy. Where from the Warsh? Where from the Al-Durri and so on you are talking about? Where are those copies coming from? If, according to your own garbage books, you said he bent all the copies, and he left what? One. Okay. You don't go and question your scholars for the holes they have in the narration, right? Okay. Now let's continue.
That Allah has chosen to preserve the Quran via the Salaf and the Khalaf, those who came before and those.
Is that what God says? God says the methodology that God chose to preserve the Quran by the Salaf. Is that what he said?
who came afterwards. Is isnad, chains of transmission.
Is that what God says? That the way he preserved the Quran was through isnad, chains of narration or transmission? Is that what God said? Now, these are claims when people make when you question them to prove and becomes an issue. Prove it is an issue. They can never prove this claim in a dialogue. All he can do is stand far away. That's it. He's done. He thinks he's knowledgeable. That's it.
Mission. Guess what else was preserved in the same way? Yes, the Hadith. So
no,
if you did,
the Hadith is not preserved the same way as the Quran. That's a foolish talk you're talking about. As a matter of fact, this is what Quran says. Let me put this verse. Quran chapter 17, verse 88. Assuming you are saying Quran is from God, Hadith is not from God, it's from whoever. God says, "Kul la in ijtama'at al-insu wal-jinnu ala an ya'tu bimithlihi hadha al-Qur'an la ya'tuna bimithlihi." Then he says, "Walau kana ba'duhum li ba'din zahira." Say, indeed, if the humans, right? Zulfikar salam. If the humans and the jinns will confer in order to bring the like of this Quran, listen carefully, the like of this Quran, they could not bring the like of it, even if they were assistants to each other. So according to this foolish mushrik, he is trying to say the Quran, the way it came, is the same way the Hadith was also. Like, that their foolishness is when they compare their garbage books with the book of God. That's what they always do. That is what bores me.
Hadith, which was brought to us by the same narrators who...
You are a liar. It is not the same narrators. Because according to your own garbage books, the Quran was complete at the time of the Prophet. According to your own garbage books, the Quran was written at the time of the Prophet. Sahih Muslim 3004. The Prophet, according to your Hadith, the Prophet said, "La taktubu anni wa man kataba anni ghayra al-Quran falyamhuhu wa addithu anni." He says, "Do not write anything from me except the Quran." So at the time of the Prophet, yes, the Quran was written at the time of the Prophet. Yes. The Quran was written. And it was even completed in such a way that Umar, when the Prophet was dying, Umar told the people that Hasbuna Kitabillah, the Indakum al-Quran, Hasbiya Kitabillah. He says the Quran is with you, so the book of God is sufficient. And according to their own hadith, Prophet forbade people from traveling to another country when they have the Quran with them. They shouldn't take the Quran with them to another country. So if the Quran was not complete, how? And if the Quran was not complete, how did Usman send for the copy that Hafsa had? According to their hadith, they say Hafsa is one of the Prophet's wife. So she has a full completed copy. And it was sent to Usman. And Usman rewrote it. Oh my God. Why are these mushriks confusing their own brains like this?
Brought us the Quran, you will have to deny the Quran eventually.
You see the foolishness? When they compare their garbage books with the Quran, they want us to deny the Quran. Yes. So they put their garbage books as the ultimatum, forcing you that you have to believe in our garbage books or else you are not a Muslim. You can't believe in the Quran. You have to come to our garbage books before. This is how they do it. Yes. Yes, the one with the Prophet, when they said the Prophet was on his deathbed. Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. You can write it down. Yes. That's what they said. 5669. Then the one which they said, the Prophet said nobody should travel with the is Sahih al-Bukhari 2990. Yes. Sahih al-Bukhari 2990. That is the one the Prophet forbade people from traveling with the Quran to another enemy's country. If the Quran was not complete, why did the Prophet forbid people not to carry the Quran to another hostile country? According to your own hadith books. 2990. If the Quran was not complete at the time of the Prophet, why did the Prophet forbid the people from traveling with the Quran with the book in their hands. Why did he do that? Yes. Aha. Yeah, Julia Antex and Mayaksa. Aha. So let's continue with the ahibijibis. You don't seem... Duai says what? It says, Baba, it's because the 7 recitations have been recorded later on down. Later on by who? No. 7 recitations have been recited later on by who? At the time of the Prophet? 7 recitations, where does it come from? From the Quran? And then the person says, sometimes I like you, Baba Shuaib, but other times you don't seem like you have enough knowledge. Or maybe you are not knowledgeable than me then. Then you just prove me wrong. That's all. Or did I tell you when I sit here to lecture people, does that mean I have all the knowledge in the world? But if you make a claim, you prove it from the Quran. That's how logic works. You prove it from the book of God, where it says they have 7 recitations. Where is it? If it's not in the book of God, just because somebody has concocted something doesn't make it the right one. So what do you mean? I will open the phone lines. Then you call and make your point. Then you see. Or do you also agree with the mushriks confusing you? You don't tell me you agree with the mushriks confusing you on this type of topics, right? He says, Baba Shuaib, actually the Quran was completed and written in his lifetime, but those are on parchments. The first binded copy Mus'haf was later a later addition. Addition of what? And what do you mean parchment? If it is parchment, Quran chapter Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. Umar is telling you the book of God is there, is sufficient. He mentioned the book of God is sufficient. And he says the Quran is there. Don't tell me you are also getting confused with what the Hadith people have been telling you. So you have that confusion in your head. I don't get you. Anyways, let's go on.
But hey, perhaps you don't want to use logic, your aql. Perhaps you...
No, Kahari, don't do that. If we use logic, we are not going to agree with you again. If we are going to use logic, we can't agree with you.
You want to use text, your knuckle, you knuckleheads.
Oh, he's calling us knuckleheads. Oh.
اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم وما.
And this is the funny part. He thinks he sounds so like sweet reading the Quran. I don't know. He doesn't know how boring he sounds reciting that.
أنزل عليكم من الكتاب والحكمة يعظكم به.
Now, this is what he failed to ponder. I'm going to put the verse on the screen. And these people, when they recite or read the Quran, they don't ponder on the verses. And that is the problem of all the mushriks. Yeah, that's the problem. So I'm going to show you what they fail to ponder upon, right? So Quran chapter 2, verse 231. So he read the part of the verse, and this is the problem. Look.
واتقوا الله واعلموا أن الله بكل شيء.
Can you imagine how many times he has to edit this video just to join it together to get it right, that he didn't make a mistake? Yeah, he took a Quran and he's actually watching the Quran and reading from. That's what he's redoing the Tajibush for you. Right, so he has to trim the video and get it right. Even with that, his voice sounds terrible. But this is the verse he's quoting, Quran chapter 2, verse 231. I'm going to put the verse. You see how he translates it. Listen.
alim. Now notice first that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says anzalna, what has been revealed, tanzil. And then
This is the verse on the screen. This is the verse on the screen. Here. Then he is going to mistranslate the verse. Now check what he says.
subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the book, the Quran, and the hikmah, the wisdom, meaning that Allah has revealed two things, two distinct and separate things, the book and the wisdom. You can't say the Quran is the wisdom because Allah does not speak in redundancies.
Oh my God. So to them, when God is speaking like that, is redundancies. And these guys, if they have studied Arabic enough, they will understand their foolishness. Now, this is the verse on the screen. Let me put the verse on the screen. This is the verse. So to them, Quran has no wisdom. Even though God says, Yasin wal Quran al-Hakim, the wise Quran. The Quran doesn't contain any wisdom, according to the foolish mushriks. So to them, the garbage books is the wisdom. Yes, you heard me right. That is how their brain works. I think their brain has been shifted from here to here and this way. So mushrik thinks you don't get wisdom from the Quran, because if God says there is wisdom in the Quran, it's redundancy. That is how the brain of a mushrik. God, please don't let us become mushriks again, ever. that is an abomination. Seriously. Commit suicide if I'm a mushrik. No, that brain, I don't need it. I'll go for factory reset by force to change the brain. Even I have to go to Temu, I'll do that. What kind of brain did these people have? I don't understand. I would rather go to Temu to get a brain than to use the brain of a mushrik. Anyways, let's go to his ABGB. Now, you see, God mentioned here, he says, "Waskuru ni'matallahi alaykum wama anzala alaykum min al-kitab wal hikmah." Then he says, "Yu'izukum bihi." Now this yu'izukum bihi, what these mushriks don't understand. You see, the bihi is a masculine pronoun used there. Bihi. God didn't say bihima. He didn't mention two things. If he said bihima, he's mentioning two separate entities. Meaning the book is here, right? And then the wisdom is far away somewhere. But because they are found in the same place, so God says, this is what he says. Listen. God says, yes, he said, but remember the blessing of God upon you, talking to the believers. Then he says, and that which has been revealed to you of the Al-Kitab. The Al-Kitab, look at it as the writing. The literal meaning of Al-Kitab is the writing. The writing. So, to you of the writing and the wisdom, because out of the writing, you get the wisdom. It is mentioned in Quran chapter 17, verse 22, you read up to verse 39, where he says, ذَلِكَ مِمَّا أَوْحَى إِلَيْكَ رَبُّكَ مِنَ الْحِكْمَةِ. So the hikmah can be found in the Al-Quran, in the reading, because it has been written in the writing. So when God says, what has been revealed to you of the writing, the book, and the wisdom by which, so he used bihi, meaning by it. He used a singular pronoun. He didn't use a dual pronoun. So this singular pronoun is talking to wise people to understand that you find it in the same place. Because the writing will reveal the wisdom in the writing. That is why God says, Yasin wal Quran al-Hakim, the wise Quran, because it's full of wisdom. But foolish people, especially the mushriks, they don't see this because they've been programmed to think the garbage Hadith books, which tells them the Prophet slept with 9 women in one night, slept with his wives whilst they are menstruating, married a 6-year-old girl and slept with her when she was 9, ran away from the angel and came to his wife, hiding behind Khadija. They think these garbage books are the books of wisdom. That's how a mushrik thinks. So I don't know how their brain has been programmed. We are in the world of AI now. I think the AI has to take over the mushrik brain. No, AI, we even have AI mushrik AI. So that's a bad idea there. So by which he admonishes you. So you get the what? The hikmah in the writing, in the book. We open the book, the wisdom is there. So according to any foolish mushrik, according to them, no, you don't get any wisdom in the book of God. No. Mushriks say, no, there's no wisdom in the book of God. Hey, mushriks. The same people who will tell you, oh, Ramadan, mashallah, Ramadan is the holiest month in Islam. But akhi, I thought the 4 sacred months, the holy month you have according to the Hadith, there's no Ramadan included. Hey, akhi. Again, that's how their brain is working. Ramadan is on the way coming. The hypocrite, the mushriks, will say, mashallah, we are now in the holiest month in Islam, mashallah, alhamdulillah. You're like, akhi, you say what? Holiest month? He said, yes, akhi, you don't know? Ramadan is the holiest month in Islam. Akhi, are you sure? He said, yes. Akhi, can you show me the 4 sacred months, the holy month you have in Islam? Can I see where you have the graph? Then they have Muharram, they have Rajab, then they have Zulqa'dah, then they have Zulhijjah. Ramadan is missing. It's not part of the holy month. But confused mushriks have been taught again that Ramadan is the holiest month, which is actually a sacred month dedicated to God, which has to be part of a sacred month. Yes, according to the Quran. But according to them, no, it's not part of that. But then they will tell you verbally that now it is the holiest month. Akhi, this month, wallahi, I dedicate myself to God. I have to pray. I have to read the Quran. I have to be pious. MashaAllah, akhi. Akhi, I even have all my money I can give you because of Ramadan. MashaAllah. Allah mushriks. They are just amazing. When I'm looking at the mushrik and he thinks he's pious, I'm just like, what is wrong with this man? Why are you wasting your time? Hey, I love mushriks. No, they're amazing. Let's go.
The hikmah has to be something sent with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So he says, and we know that the hikmah has to be something sent with. Yes, the Quran was sent with the Prophet. So it's in the Quran you get the hikmah. How is that a big deal to understand? Okay.
As Allah says, كَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا فِيكُمْ رَسُولًا مِّنكُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتِنَا وَيُزَكِّيكُمْ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. Now what's the only...
Oh my God. And this is where when they recite verses, because they don't know the difference between when God says the messenger, when they recite a verse, they think they are actually talking about the prophet. When God says Rasul, these people think he's talking about the prophet. So again, he recited Quran chapter 2, verse 151. And I put the verse on the screen. This is the verse on the screen. It says, just as we have sent a messenger among you, talking to the believers of that time, reciting our verses to you, the believers, purifying you, the believers, and teaching you the writing, which is the book, the writing. He has to teach his people the writing and the wisdom, because out of the writing, you get the hikmah. Quran chapter 17, verse 39, teaching you what you did not know, because they never knew the book and they never knew the hikmah. So now this is the messenger teaching them what they don't know. It's there in the book of God. But foolish mushrik says, no, akhi, the hikmah is not in the Quran. It is in our garbage book. Come to our garbage book. Sahih al-Bukhari, that is the hikmah. Quran doesn't have hikmah. No hikmah. So to them, Quran doesn't have any wisdom. Hey. And to be honest, when you are deliberating with them face to face, you said, but the Quran has wisdom. They'll be like, yeah, ahi, but not like the hikmah. You know, the one given to the prophet is different. You find it in the comedy books. Come to the garbage books. We have it here. Ahi, the one from God, no, it's not the correct. I don't know how their brain works. That's why they are scared to face me. I don't know.
Thing that the Prophet ﷺ came with beside the Quran, the Sunnah.
Hey, what the other things that the Prophet came to us besides the Quran? The Sunnah. Where does he say that? That the Quran Prophet came with Quran and Sunnah. Where in the Quran does it say Prophet came with Quran and Sunnah? He even shocked me. I got electric shock in me. This mushrik, they are amazing. I don't know how their brain works. Where did they get all these informations from? But from their garbage books.
And what's the only thing that contains the Sunnah? The Hadith.
What is the only thing that contains the Sunnah? So Sunnatullah in the Quran is not contained there. You don't find Sunnatullah in the Quran. So the only thing that contains the Sunnah is the garbage books. This Mr. Smarty man, I don't know this Smarty man. Wallahi, this Bushrik, I can never take you seriously. Seriously. How can I take Bushrik serious? You tell me. Asim al-Hakim, Zakir Naik, Mufti, how can I take them seriously, for God's sake? This is what they teach their bozo fans and audience.
Now you might say, well, the actions of the people that are passed down contain the Sunnah. Yeah, they're acting on the Hadith. And
the action of the people that are passed down, the action of hey, Allah Bushrik Gadi. Oh no. You see, usually I have to be laughing when I watch Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, and you mentioned them, Aries Pierce, Russell Peters, Jeff Dunham. When I watch comedians like this is how I have to be laughing. But when I watch Bushriks, it seems my laughing goes way over the top. I've actually recently joined Hamza Malik to the list. That old man is frustrated. But anyways, let's go. Anyway, let's go.
lastly, when you say, oh, but the Quran has said that it contains everything already. Yes, and the Quran commands you to obey Allah and obey the Messenger.
This is what they are good at. They quote a verse, obey Allah and obey the Messenger. Now, listen to how he's going to twist the understanding. Listen to how he's going to twist the understanding on this verse. Chapter 4, verse 59. Listen what he said.
Now, why would Allah tell you to obey Allah and obey the Messenger if they're going to be one and the same and it's just following the Quran?
Again, kaput. I don't even know what to tell this guy. When you take the Quran in its entirety, it's the book from God. It's a message from God. But again, you find the words of the Messenger in the same Quran again. So the words of God is in the Quran, and the words of the Messenger is in the Quran. Let me tell you how. God told the Messenger, when they ask you about the hour, then God will tell him, say. When they ask you about the Spirit, say. Yes, they ask you what to spend, say. When they ask you about the women, say. When they ask you about, you understand, say. Always God has given the Messenger answers in the Quran, the same book where you find the Qawlu Rasul Kareem. You find it in the words of God. It is just a simple clear-cut logic, but mushriks don't see that. So then they tell you, no, we don't find the words of the Messenger in the Quran. We have to go. So then why did God say, no, la Qawlu Rasul Kareem? God says it's the words of the Honorable Messenger. Yes. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not? Yeah, according to them, you don't find the words of the Messenger in the Quran. No. You come to the garbage books. That's where Allah mushriks, you are amazing. You won the award.
Clearly, Allah is telling us, follow the Quran and follow the sunnah of the Prophet.
You see, this guy just acted smarter than God. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. This guy is acted smarter than God himself from the Quran, telling us that when God says obey God and obey the messenger, it means obey God, the Quran, and obey the sunnah of the Prophet. Subhanallah. Now, this is the mushrik. That's why I call them mushriks, because they think they are smarter than God. That is what makes them say the foolishness of this kind of statements like this. Yes. And they will not allow somebody like Baba Shab to scrutinize them one-on-one like this. They will not allow it. That's why they will stand far away, insult you, call you names. That's all they do.
Remember that the Prophet ﷺ warned us of people like you, that a man...
He warned people like this in a garbage book. Look, Sunan Abi Dawood 4604. Then he quotes the same garbage book again to make his claim. Now look.
Will hold up the book of Allah and say
a man will hold up the book of God.
Only need this.
We only need this. Now the point is, the Prophet Muhammad himself, how many books did he give to his people? The answer is one. Contradiction. We only need this. That's the book of God. That is what Umar did. Quran chapter 5, Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. Umar himself said, Hasbuna kitabullah. Indakum al-Quran, Hasbuna kitabullah. He says the book of God is sufficient for us. Now you are quoting another hadith, which is even less inferior compared to Sahih al-Bukhari, because Sahih al-Bukhari is stronger than this Sunan Abi Dawud you are quoting. So then you said, we only need this. The man will say we only need the book of God. What? And
will make no mention of the Sunnah.
And will make no mention of the what? Oh, no. I cannot imagine I wasted my time to talk about you. Kahari. Seriously. I only did a video on you because you have a large following on TikTok. That's why I put you on here. But anyways, this is Kahari. He just gave us headache with this heebie-jeebies. But let's go to the next person. The next person who did a video on Dravon, this is what he was talking about. Let me get him. Where is the video? The next person is this guy. His name is Akbar, right?
Me that if I think critically, I use logic and I research and I study something for 6 months and I come to my own conclusion, it is dangerous.
So you're telling me that if I think critically and use logic and do my research and read Wikipedia articles for 6 months on doing surgery and then start doing surgery on random people on my own, then that's dangerous and might kill someone? In all seriousness, the deen requires the knowledge of experts just as medicine requires you to consult experts. If you make a mistake in surgery and you hurt a person's body, his body can heal. But if you corrupt a person's heart and disconnect them from the divine guidance that is found in the Hadith, then not only are you ruining your chances of getting to heaven, you're ruining the chances of other people as well.
I don't understand. I cannot fathom how these people think when they leave their beard like that, it makes them look handsome. I don't know. According to them, they said you have to look like the Prophet. Is that how they think the Prophet looked like? Seriously. I don't know why they are trying to make themselves like, they look scary sometimes. I think it's Mufti Menk actually tries his best. I don't know the barber he uses, but the barber does very well. He shaves him nicely. But when I see people looking like this guy
and do my
they are scary, for God's sake. Now imagine sitting next to a person who tried to look like this, dress like this in the flight. You'll be scared, to be honest. I'm not joking. You look at him, you'll be scared to sit next to a person like that in the flight. You understand? But if you are in the flight, you sit next to Mufti Menk. You understand? Mufti Menk, he dresses, you see how he does everything. By the way, Mufti Menk is bald-headed. He's bald-headed. He doesn't have hair. He's bald head in the hair. So he trims it nicely. Everybody will want to sit next to Mufti Menk. But these guys, the way they do it, they look scary. Anyways, let's go what he said on the video. He's trying to mock Dravon, right? Yeah, they all grow the same thing. Yes, that's how they grow their beard. Anyways, let's listen to his heebie-jeebies.
So you're telling me that if I think critically, I use logic, and I research and I study something for 6 months, and I come to my own conclusion, it is dangerous.
So you're telling me
Let Draven finish the statement. Now, this is one problem I have with mushriks and hypocrites. They will not allow you to finish the statement to make sense, so they cut you off. Draven was trying to make sense out of a statement, right? He is not an ignorant person reading the book. He is reading the book of guidance, because when you try to put an analogy in that kind of analogy this guy is going to use, I'm going to show you the flawed argument he's using against Draven. Now, when Draven said to use his own time, study the Quran 6 months, use logic and research, listen to the word. He made a research. It's not as if he just sat down and then read the book and then draw his conclusions. Just like today, we can make a research and prove our politicians wrong. We can make a research to prove our leaders wrong. You can make a research and study to prove a scientist wrong. You can make a research and do an investigation to prove a doctor wrong. Yes. Yes. You can make a research on a medicine and prove a vaccine wrong. You don't need to be a medical practitioner to know that, because that's why we call it research and study. Research and study. But why is it that mushriks don't know how logic, rationality works? It baffles me when I fail to, like, mushriks fail to use the reasoning.
So you're telling me that if I think critically, I use logic, and I research and I study something for 6 months, and I come to my own conclusion, it is dangerous.
So you're telling me that if I think critically and use logic and do my research and read Wikipedia articles for 6 months on doing surgery and then start doing surgery on random people on my own, then that's dangerous.
Is that what Draven said? And do Wikipedia and go to do surgery? Is that how they allow you to just go and do surgery just like that? No, surgery. You are comparing surgery with following the guidance of God? Seriously? Yes, exactly. You see, thank you, Abraham B. Moshe, Common Sense Family. You understand? And when you make sense, the scientist will accept he was wrong. Just like one scientist who went to Argentina, and concerning one, is about a particular medicine. I forgot the name of the medicine. He says you can take a certain amount of that medicine, you will not die. And then the interviewer asked him, we have it here. Is it ethanol or something? I forgot the name of the medicine. They tell him the medicine is here. Let's give it to you. Will you drink it? He said, I'm not stupid. The scientist said, I'm not stupid to take it. Which means, so by logic, the interviewer, the host, actually proved the scientist wrong. You're saying that when people take that type of medicine, they will not die any amount. Then the guy said, we have it here. Let's give it to you to try. The scientist says, I'm not stupid. So you think people are stupid to be taking those vaccines and everything. So sometimes you need to study and make a research. It doesn't always take experts to tell you something. The expert can make mistake. The teacher who teaches you daily in the classroom, if you don't study and make a research, when the teacher makes a mistake, who will correct the teacher? Use your logic and reasoning properly. Don't let scholars keep telling you, no, only us decide for you. No, they are human beings like you. To err is human. So listen to this comedian. This is what he said.
Person might kill someone? In all seriousness, the deen requires a knowledge of experts just...
He says, in all seriousness, the religion requires the knowledge of experts. Okay, and then?
As medicine requires you to consult experts.
Just as medicine requires you to consult experts, the same experts can lie to you. So you need to investigate. You need to do research. There is nothing wrong with what Draven said. What Draven said, and you are doing the rebuttal, there's nothing wrong with what he said. You are not actually encouraging people to do research, to study. When you tell them, no, in the religion, you don't have to do, you have to consult the experts. So the experts have to keep lying, right? That's how politicians keep lying. That's how your scholars keep lying, because nobody is doing research to fish them out. Quran chapter 3, verse 78. Listen what God says. If God doesn't want us to do research, this is what God says. Quran chapter 3, verse 78. And I quote, God says, and among them, indeed, among them is a group who distorts the book with their tongues to make you consider it from the book, while it is not from the book. And they say it is from God, while it is not from God. And they say a lie about God while they know. So now, are you telling me if I don't study and do research, how can I know? If I don't study and make research, how can I know that there is a group who is distorting the book? Because they will end up saying something when it's not in the book. So I need to study and do research to make sure what my scholar is telling me adds up. Because when I don't investigate, he can lie to me. He's a human being. For God's sake, your politicians can lie to you. Your parents can lie to you. Your husbands and wives can lie to you. Your children can lie to you. That is why we call something investigation. Even your president can lie to you. Your politicians are lying to you daily. Your doctors are even lying to you daily. So you have to investigate. You have to do a research. You have to study. Don't let foolish people keep telling you, oh, you have to wait for the scholars to come and tell you always. No, you cross-check. They can lie. When a doctor gives you prescription, please investigate. Don't think the doctor knows it all. They can prescribe the wrong medicine for you. I'm serious. I'm not joking with you. Why do you think they are trying to probe Anthony Fauci of United States? Why do you think they are trying to probe him? Those people can lie. Just as your Islamic scholar, Christian scholars, or whatever can lie also. Don't investigate. Do your research. Ask questions. That's how you study.
Make a mistake in surgery and you hurt a person's body, his body can heal.
Are you a fool? Why will I just read the Quran and I get up and go and make surgery to somebody? No. It's about guidance for mankind. When you understand something now, maybe after 1 year, the understanding will change. It's about finding your personal guidance to God first. So it's not like Draven was telling you, oh, I'm out here to guide people. And no, he's telling you what he has studied and did research and came to his own. Why English is even difficult for people who claim they have their academics and whatever degrees and PhDs? Why?
But if you corrupt a person's heart and disconnect them from the divine guidance that is found in...
How do you disconnect somebody from the divine guidance? Unless if the person doesn't study also. The person you are going to disconnect, unless if he doesn't study to check for himself. Quran chapter 17 verse 36. God says, do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. وَلَا تَخْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. The only foolish people who will be misled on the day of judgment crying is mentioned in Quran chapter 33 verse 67. قالوا ربنا إن أطعنا سادتنا وكبراءنا فأضلونا سبيلا. They will say, our Lord, we have obeyed our masters and our leaders, and they misled us from the way, because out of your foolishness, you never investigated what your masters and your leaders told you. You never did a research on your masters and leaders told you. Academically, when you went to the classroom, when your teacher is teaching, doesn't your teacher give you the chance to go and do research? Doesn't your teacher tell you to go and do investigation, to study? How did you become a qualified, certified this thing, whatever you became, engineer or doctor or whatever? Is it not by your own study to write your exams and pass?
The hadith, then not only are you ruining your chances of getting to heaven, you're ruining the chances of other people as well.
You see how they scare people? And that's how their scholars are scaring people. Hey, stay away from the Quran. Akhi, don't touch the Quran. Come to us. We teach you the garbage books. The garbage books will show you how to go to heaven. What? No, what? Anyway, so these are what these comedians, they think they were refuting RRT says, but Bukhari said, yes, Bukhari said, Hadith says this, the Prophet says, hey, the Prophet says what? Where? Huh? Where? Huh? No, somebody said, this guy is not a Muslim. No problem. I'm not a Muslim for you. No, why should that be a problem? Yes, I'm not a Muslim. That's up to you, right? But you are a mushrik. The one who's saying this guy is not a Muslim, you are a mushrik. Yes. So these are the two guys who actually said they were refuting the argument from Draven, right? Now, I'll try my best. I'll tag, after I finish this video, I'll tag Draven on this video. I know he will get the chance to watch, hopefully. Then, God willing, we get to get in touch with him to have a conversation. So, this person is asking, he says, Korashna, will you ever do ritual ablution and wipe over socks? No, I don't. Why will I do that? What stops me from just taking off my socks and just wipe my legs? I don't understand. I can just take off my socks. What is stopping you from not taking your socks off? You don't want to miss the flight or what? If it's the flight, you have toilet in the flight. You can do washing there. Where are you going that you cannot take your socks off? I don't understand. Seriously. The logic behind this doesn't make sense to me. Let it make sense. My brain is suffering right now. You have your socks on. What is stopping you from just taking your socks off and wipe? And when you wipe, just use something to wipe again. Then the water will go off or something. Then you wear your socks. What is wrong with that? I don't know why people think this is wisdom coming from the Hadith. They think all these gibberish they are learning from the Hadith is wisdom. Then the Hadith will tell them, yes, one time I saw the Prophet wiping over his socks. That's how they came with the idea that they saw the Prophet kissing the stone. So they also go to kiss the stone. Yeah. Yes. So guys, I chanced up, somebody sent me a picture, and I saw this picture of this old man. This is Hamza Malik. So Hamza Malik, on his video that he did on me again, because this guy is so obsessed with me, is now making constant videos after I did about 4 videos on him. But because his audience are so shallow-minded, they didn't even have chance to go through my video to see all the rebuttals I did against him. So now, he says Shoaib throws in the towel. Seriously, this guy... Hamza Malik. Ladies and gentlemen, where did I throw in the towel? You sat on your platform, the boring platform, making 4 hours videos. And then you say you are giving me assignments to answer your questions. First of all, you are not on my level for me to even waste my time say I'm answering your questions. Whatever I said about you in what you call the 10 points, I've already explained them in my videos, 4 videos that I did. All the answers are there. You said you are the slave of God. I prove you wrong on that. You said we shouldn't say A'udhu Billahi Minash. I prove you wrong of that. You said there is no Allahu Kabir. I prove you wrong on that. You said there is no the Fatiha belongs to the Jews. I prove you wrong on that. You said Moses is a Jew. Moses is not a Jew. Quran chapter 2 verse 140 clearly tells you that Asbat, they are not Jews. They are not Christians. They are actually Muslims. That is the 12 tribal nations God divided. The Asbat, they are not Jews. Quran is here to bring you the truth. You keep making a fumble out of yourself in your old age, bringing out your stupidity to the world to see. You said Islam is not a religion. The word deen, I dare you. Come and prove to us where you got the meaning, your meaning from. He says Islam is deen. It's not a religion. He doesn't even know deen is an Arabic word. Come. I prove you wrong on that. Everything I mentioned about you, I did a video. I broke it down step by step. You said Jesus has a father. Let me even teach you further. You said Jesus has a father out of your shallow mind, forgetting that the word Abi has multiple meanings. It can mean ancestors. Jesus, yes, he has ancestor because his mother has a father. That is Imran. So that is his ancestor. So Jesus has an ancestor, but he doesn't have a biological father in the Quran. God never mentioned anywhere, unless you twist the words of God, which I prove you wrong on that. Even Abraham, we can call him our father, but does he mean his biological father? Quran chapter 22, verse 78. So you said he doesn't have a father. I prove you wrong on that. Everything you mentioned, I already did the video. I prove you wrong on that. Now you think I want to waste my time dealing with your amateur topics, naivety at your age? You think I'll waste my time? I only call for a dialogue. You say you have been watching me. Baba Shuaib platform is open. Be a man at your age. Just be a man. I told you respectfully. Come on my platform. Let's have a dialogue. Some people will say, oh, Baba Shuaib, we come to your platform. You drop us. Ask your friend, your best friend, Mohammed Shafiq. He came to my platform. Ask him whether I dropped him. Yes. If you come to my platform, you are civil. We can have a discussion. Baba Shuaib has never been scared of anybody, unless people are scared of coming to my platform. Yes. And when I'm talking about coming to I'm not talking about people with heebie-jeebies, like the guys like Wissam and then Tariq, and bring me people who have level intact IQ to have a civilized conversation, who can answer yes or no. Look at Brother Shafiq himself. He came on my platform when I'm asking him questions. I said, brother, you know the Arabic, you know better, you know. So he knows I know better, right? So then what is the excuse for? All I'm saying is bring your boss. Hamza Malik is your boss, right? Let him come to my platform. This is where I sit. You said I'm lying to the people. This is where I sit to lecture people. So if you have the guts, as you said in some of your videos, you said you will come to my platform to prove me wrong. So why don't you have the balls now to come and face me? Let's arrange. I bring you here. So all of my audience will know, Baba Shuaib, oh, you have been lying to us. You don't know anything. Hamza Malik knows better. That's what I want to prove to my end. Why don't you have the balls? So that you stand the test of time in front of the correctional officer. Or all of a sudden you became a coward. Oh, you want him to come to your platform. Why don't we go somewhere else? Hey, now you want attention somewhere else? The old man is in his old age confused. This guy says he calls himself slave of God. I prove him wrong. They said you don't need to say I prove him wrong. I have all the videos there. You want me to waste my time doing videos again, giving him attention when nobody knows him? Like, can't you see the bigger issue we are dealing with in the world now? You don't see the mushriks ahead? You don't see the bigger enemy we are dealing with? You want me to waste my time with a mega hypocrite who is in his retirement over 80 years to focus on him to do what? No, tell me, what better logic Hamza Malik has out there to offer you? You tell me. What does he have to say? What? Okay, let him come here and say it better. My audience will bear witness to that, if he is knowledgeable. Oh, you think out of your shallow minds, Hamza Malik just comes and then I'll drop him? No. I'll arrange with him, bring him in front of my audience here. He will justify every claim he make. Likewise, I'll justify. Any word he mentioned, we are going to trace the etymology of the word. We are going to check every dictionary to find the meaning of the word, where he concocted that from, and where he has the authority to make claims and lie about God. and say Fatiha belongs to the Jews. I dare him, wallahi. I told you, I did not start it, I'll finish it. I'll send that man to retirement. Seriously. Look at this video. He said he has been watching me. He's a hypocrite. I'm telling you, wallahi. If Hamza Malik is not a hypocrite, may God strike me down. Wallahi. Hamza Malik is a hypocrite. And I'll tell you why he's a hypocrite. He's been watching me. He used to share my videos. He gives me props. He gives me thumbs up. Then he come and say again that whatever I'm saying is a lie. Then he's a bigger hypocrite. May God strike you down for lying to the people then. Because if you know Baba Shoaib is misleading the people, why share my videos to the audience? Why share my videos to your audience and give me props? Then obviously you are a hypocrite. Huh? So now, check this. This is what the old man said. I'm going to show you something.
Right then, I'm watching you. If my doctor calls me, I'll tell my doctor I'll call you back later. I'm watching Shoaib. I don't watch every word he says. Not to learn. I don't learn anything from you. I haven't learned nothing from you since I've known you. But I'm watching you now to catch your mistakes, which I catch them all the time. I catch them all the time. I'm going to troll you from now until I can't breathe no more. Until I can't breathe no more. Because you started something and you said you was going to finish it and you didn't finish it. You threw in the towel like a coward. You turned and ran. You had a whole 4 months to answer.
So, guys, you heard the old man. He said, I had 4 months. This old man think he will be giving me assignment to answer his questions when I've already finished answering. Because he's so old that he doesn't even know how to catch up with time. He didn't go to my lectures to see all the answers I gave him. So now he said, I gave him 4 months. Hey, I dare you, old man. Just be a man. Call me. We can arrange. I'll bring you here, so that my audience will know. You said I'm misleading people, right? So that they will know I'm misleading people. Then I'll prove to the people how ignorant you are, even in Arabic language, that you claim whatever you were once a Sunni, right? For 50 years. I'll prove to the people that you don't even know the Quran. Wallahi lazim. Wallahi. You don't know the Quran. What you do is you play with words. Yes, you play with words. And that is what I'm going to establish. No, Jasmine, I'm not wasting my time. You know, some hypocrites among us, including Hamza Malik himself, because before I wasn't dealing with him, but he included himself. So he is the mega hypocrite. Some hypocrites among us. Look, if I don't get up to expose these shallow-minded hypocrites who don't even have any knowledge in Arabic, this is the way I have to take it. Yes, no problem, Sister Eram. Have a good night. God bless you. So now I need to now put them to the world to expose the foolishness these people are teaching people. Wallahi, I dare him. Let him choose anything I said. That 10 point he's saying. I don't have time to sit down explaining anything. I've already explained in my videos. But I dare him. Let him choose any of the 10 points he is saying. I'll bring him here. We go one by one. Everything. If it's the Fatiha, he's going to prove to us where God says it's for the Jews. If it is Bismillah, we are going to go on it. If it's Jesus has a father, we are going to prove on it. Right? As a matter of fact, look at their foolishness. I'm going to expose one foolishness from these people. This is the verse. When you go to Quran chapter 66, verse 12, this is what God says concerning Maryam, the mother of Jesus, right? Now, this is what Mary said. God said concerning Mary. He says, and also Maryam, the daughter of Imran, who fortified her private part. So we blew therein from our spirits, and she gave credence to the words of her Lord and his books, and was of the obedient. Now, what is said here concerning blew therein from our spirit. Now you tell me, which woman on this earth, which woman on this earth that in the Quran God ever said that he sent a spirit to blow something in her? No, you'll never find that in the Quran apart from Maryam. Right? Now, this same Maryam we are talking about, this same Mary we are talking about, if you go to Quran chapter 19 and you read concerning what the spirit came to her to talk to her about, when you read verse 21, he, the spirit, said, "Thus said your Lord, it is easy for me, so that we may render him a sign," as a miracle. So now, throughout the Quran, no prophet has been laid down as a miracle, as a sign for the people. It is only Isa who has been assigned as a miracle, as a sign for the people. Only Isa has been assigned as a sign. Why do you think God was telling his mother that we are going to make Isa as a miracle? So tell me, if he was born from a father and mother, what is the miracle about Jesus? Ladies and gentlemen, please listen to this wise statement carefully. If Jesus has a mother and a father, what is special as a sign from him to the people? What sign is he? What is the symbol or miracle is he supposed to be to the people? Because if it is a sign, then remember there is John the Baptist. John was there. He is born of a father and a mother. God never called him a sign. He never called Abraham a sign. He never called Muhammad a sign. He never called Moses a sign. He never called any prophet in the Quran a sign. He only called Jesus as a sign. And he's telling the mother of Jesus, we are going to render him as a sign to the people. So now, if Isa is a sign, out of your foolishness and your naivety, you the mega hypocrites, if he is called as a sign, can't you reason for once that why is Isa a sign for the people? Why is he a miracle for the people? Because if he is born of a father and mother, what is special about that sign then? Why is he a sign? Why is he a miracle? Oh, he has a father and a mother. John has a father and mother. Abraham has a father and mother. Oh, Moses has a father and mother. Oh, Muhammad has a father and mother. But none of them were called a sign. But Jesus is a sign. And people are calling Jesus the Son of God. Oh, if he has a father, why are they calling him the Son of God? Jesus doesn't have a father. That's the point. If he has it, stop misquoting verses to prove your point. That's foolishness. That's naivety. Because out of your foolishness, it is this foolishness you keep coming with words, saying salat means following closely, salat means duty, salat means connection, and yet you are scared to face Baba Shoaib one-on-one to prove that foolishness. I dare you. Stop sending me people with hibijibis, mental issues, depression. Send me people who have capacity. If Hamza Malik, you think you have the capacity, inbox me, call me, let's arrange a dialogue. I'll bring you here. So my audience will know I'm misleading the people. Is it not best thing to do? Ladies and gentlemen, you tell me in the comment section. Is it not best thing to do? If I sat here and you said I sit here and lie to the people and I mislead the people, why don't you have balls? Or as an old man, I don't know, if your balls are weak, I can give you new balls. Then you come and face me. And prove. I will show the people how weak you are. Wallahi lazim. And how hypocrite you are. When you come here, I'm going to ask you in front of the audience, Hamza Malik, have you been sharing my videos to your audience or not? Didn't you give me props or not? Wallahi, you are a hypocrite. May God curse you if all my videos you shared was out of hypocrisy, unless you come and confess to the people why you did that. In the past, I'm not talking about now. In the past, you used to share my videos. You give me props. You tell the people. Wallahi lazim. If you are not a hypocrite, may God strike me down. Wallahi, you are a hypocrite. And may God curse you for misleading the people. If you think Baba Shoaib is misleading the people, you'll be sharing my videos to the people. and giving me thumbs up, then you are a hypocrite. You the same person who say Fatiha is not from God. You, look at you. Look at you in your 80s. You are not thinking about having a befitting burial to go and meet God. You are sitting here with your naivety, saying you are going to troll me. Are you better than me in trolling? You, if I want to troll you, they might say I made you commit suicide. So don't go there. Don't start with the trolling issue. If I have to start trolling you, Hamza Malik, you might die early. So please stop the issue of trolling. Wallahi, the mega hypocrites. You are all hypocrites, the mega hypocrites. You know yourselves. The following closely group, all of you, I dare your leader. Your leader is Hamza Malik, right? Wallahi, the day he steps foot here, I'll make sure you regret ever having Hamza Malik as your leader. Wallahi. You don't know who you are playing with. This old man, you don't go and retire in peace. Baba Shwaibi is what you want to joke with. I will expose you big time. And I'll prove to your audience you don't even know Arabic. Look at your best friend, Muhammad Shafiq. He came to me, he was stammering, he's shaking. Muhammad Shafiq cannot speak. I'm asking him civilized questions, he's emotional. He said, oh, brother, you know the Arabic. You know, so you know I know the Arabic, right? And you came, you are struggling. Huh? Salam street side. Yeah, thank you very much, Mom. I appreciate the support. Out of his jealousy and hypocrisy, the jealousy, I saw this man saying that, oh, you are selling t-shirts and cups and spoons. Oh, man, are you jealous of what I do? How many times must I explain the issue of my t-shirt or my this thing? Go and ask people in Ghana. I went to Ghana. I printed about over 100 t-shirts. I shared it to people. I never took even a dime for anybody. I shared my souvenirs to people. I never took a dime in Ghana. And I explained to you several times on my YouTube why I have it on my YouTube page. When people show the support, the money that comes in, I get €3 each for 8 shirts or any souvenir somebody buys. And that €3, I add it to my charity programs that I normally organize. Your hypocrisy, the jealousy. Jealousy, wallahi, Hamza Malik, you are jealous of me. Wallahi, wallahi. Do you need attention? Don't worry, you come to my platform. Baba Shoaib will give you attention. But if you think you sit in your small corner to give me assignment, you give me assignment, then you are not up to the level. You are not my match for me to even give you that attention. That is why you became emotional. Wallahi, you are emotional. When I watch your videos and I just laugh. I'm just laughing. I'm like, this old man will not want to go in retirement in peace. He wants to make Baba Shoaib the topic of discussion. No problem. I dare you. Choose any of the 10 points I mentioned. I'll bring you here. We go head to head. I'm going to show the people the foolishness of what you have been doing for years. Wallahi lazim. I'll prove to the people. I dare you. But I told you, you come to my platform respectfully. I will not disrespect you. We are going to have a civilized discussion. I just want you to have the balls to come to my platform and stop the naivety of saying, hey, your platform, you are in control. Oh, so that means since you don't trust yourself, you don't trust yourself to even come to Baba Shoaib platform to have a discussion. Hey, Hamza Malik, this is what you said. You said you have been watching me. This is what you said.
Right then, I'm watching you. If my doctor calls me, I'll tell my doctor I'll call you back later. I'm watching Shuaib. I'm going to watch every word he says. Not to...
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard what he said? He says he's watching Shuaib. My audience can bear me witness. When I do my lectures here, most of the times, before Hamza Malik started this envious things he's been doing, Hamza Malik used to come in the comment section, said salam to me, send me props. Hey, this man is a hypocrite. Wallahi, wallahi, Hamza Malik is a hypocrite. Look, let's go. Let's have a dialogue on salat. Let's have a dialogue on anything I said about you. Let's have a dialogue. And let's see your foolishness. I will expose. No mercy for you anymore. I'm tired of showing you that respect. This guy, I'll mess you up. Wallahi, wallahi. Anyways, let's leave the old man aside. Hey, I have some of his audience. They actually like my page. We have the straight path. We have Mohammed Shafiq in the comment. We have the whistle has been blown. They are actually patronizing my page. I like that. Yeah, Mom, he's wearing his hat also. Yes. The guy says I'm sending cups and spoons. Hey, Hamza Malik. Hey, man, I know you are watching, right? So please just call. I told you I will not treat you like the way I treat some of your HBGB fans. I will treat you respectfully, but I'm going to expose you. You are going to prove to us where you get the messed up words you've been forming in the book of God. And you bring us your own translation. Let's see. The translation you've been using. Let's go word for word. I dare you. You're already 80 years old. So at least you should have spent your 50 years to translate the Quran. I don't know how many more years you need to translate the Quran, Hamza Malik. Maybe you have to, you're already 80, 82 or 83 years. If now you have to translate the Quran, it took me 6 years as a young man to do it. It's Hamza Malik, you have to do it now. Maybe with the help of AI. Yeah, it might take you 12 years because you don't know how to even use the AI. So Hamza Malik, you also bring your translation, please. And then we go head to head, right? Then whatever word you quote, we go to the source, etymology, and find a word. If it is the right word we are using, following closely, we are going to question you on that. And I have to prove to the people how hypocritical you are. Wallahi lazim. I told you I did not start it. I'm going to finish it. You thought I started it. You are the one who started it. I never put your video to attack you. You started it. So you don't be a hypocrite again. You started, then I'm going to finish it. Like I said, I'm going to finish it, meaning I dare you to come out for a dialogue. Yes, come out. Just be a man. As you said, you've been watching me. Then you come one-on-one in front of my audience. Wouldn't you love to embarrass me in front of my audience, Hamza Malik? That's the best thing you should have done. You should come. Let the audience cheer you up. Have some balls. Let's go. On Salat, you're going to prove you're following closely, your duty, your connection. Come. Your whatever you said. That Jesus has a father. We are going to go through the verses. You prove it to us. Yes. Where he has a father. And whatever you said. Saying A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim makes one a shirk. Yes. You calling yourself a slave of God, you are going to prove it. We are going to use logic to crash you down. That's all it takes. Seriously. That's all it takes. You are very bitter and salty. I don't know why you are so salty about Baba Shuaib. But it seems now you are a big fan because you watch my videos a lot. No. He says if his doctor calls him, he will say he's watching Baba Shuaib. Hamza Malik, please, when your doctor calls you, please answer the doctor's call. Please don't tell your doctor that you're Baba Shuaib. The doctor might advise you not to watch Baba Shuaib because you might get heart attack. Please. Please. Hamza Malik, please. When Anyways, let me see, what am I missing here? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ramadan is starting. The month of Ramadan, the new moon is starting on the 28th of this month. So by the 1st of March or 2nd of March, right, you will spot the crescent to start your fasting, to start your abstinence, right? Usually here in Finland, when countries like Saudi Arabia starts, it takes me a day or two before I spot the crescent, the waxing crescent to start. So what I will do is I can actually maybe come on live tomorrow, right? I'll do a live session maybe on, I might do, I can spare my time and do a live session tomorrow where I can give the chance for question and answer concerning the Ramadan, right? So what I'll do is I thought I will have enough time to do it today, but I can give you the chance for live and question and answer session for Ramadan tomorrow. So tomorrow I might be here for just 2 or 3 hours. I cannot be here for long tomorrow. So I'll be here for 2 or 3 hours tomorrow, right? So you can bring all your questions concerning Ramadan. You want to ask concerning Siam, the month of Ramadan. For people who don't know about Ramadan, I already have videos on it on my YouTube channel. You go to YouTube, you search for my playlist, Siam playlist, the Siam. You see Siam series. So the Siam, it talks about Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, the calendar of Ramadan, the solar and lunar calendar, and then Ramadan as a month. So I have all these videos, but now tomorrow I want to use that for question and answer session. So you are welcome to ask your questions concerning Ramadan. But as for the mega hypocrites, they said they are not doing any Siyam, right? They said their fasting is in September or so. I don't know if Prophet Muhammad fasted in September. I have no idea. The only calendar we have is the Arabian calendar, and we have a month called Ramadan. It's the 9th month on the Arabian calendar. Prophet Muhammad used that calendar. It is 1,445 years or so. We are still in that, using that calendar. The year can be traced. We have some hypocrites among us telling us, oh, no, this calendar, no. So please create your own calendar. Let's come and check. Is it the Gregorian calendar or is it the Julian calendar? You create yours. Let's come and check your Ramadan also. But Ramadan, the month of Ramadan is coming in 2 days' time. So that Ramadan is what we are practicing. Some people say, oh, you are attacking the mushriks. Why are you doing Ramadan with them? Well, the same mushriks, we are following the Quran with them, because the same Quran you are following is the same Quran the mushriks are also following. If that is the foolishness you think, then don't follow the Quran, because the mushriks are also following the same Quran also. As a matter of fact, which Quran are you following? Are you following the Western version of the Quran? No, don't follow the Quran also. We are following the truth from God. That's all we are following. We are following the truth from God. So if God speaks the truth, that's what we follow. You think we follow the Quran, so we are following? God mentioned the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed. Throughout this world, there is no calendar which has the name of Ramadan there except the Hijr calendar, the Arabian calendar. That is the only calendar in this earth, on this earth, which has the name Ramadan, which is a calendar. A month goes with a calendar. But then you have some confused entities trying to make up, assume things. I don't understand people. They will assume things. Hey, you know what? The month of Ramadan cannot be the Hijr. Why is it in March? Why is it in February? We are not using Gregorian calendar for the sake of God. If you are based in Saudi Arabia, it is the month of Ramadan you'll be seeing, not any April, August, September. No, stop fooling yourself. We are not using Gregorian calendar, for God's sake. Then some people will say, yeah, if I'm in the north, if I'm in the North Pole, how can I do it? Because the sun doesn't set. Are you a dummy? Just move to where the sun sets. That's it. And then go and do nighttime. You break your fast. That's all. What is wrong with people? Is God forcing you to do anything by force? You can't do it. That's up to you. God already showed you in the Quran how to ransom, how to redeem yourself when you cannot do the fasting. If you suffer or you are struggling, he says redeem yourself by feeding the poor, or ransom by feeding the poor. That's it. You feed the poor. Okay, you are in the place where there is no night. Yes, just move. If you cannot move, then what? Who is forcing you? I don't understand people, seriously. Oh, mom, please don't do that. She says now he knows he is too old to try and dress like the young guys. He looks so funny and the attitude makes it funny. Yeah. He says he's going to skin me alive. The best way to skin me alive is on my platform, Hamza Malik. Just be a man of your words. That's all. You're going to skin me alive. Oh, so now you become a troller all of a sudden. Ladies and gentlemen, Hamza Malik, they're all decent. Hamza Malik is now a troll. He's going to troll Baba Shrive. Don't go there, because if you go to trolling, I'll give you heart attack on that. Please, Hamza Malik, don't start what you cannot finish. All I ask for, instead of wasting my 4 hours to give you any more attention, I said, be a man. Call me, we arrange a dialogue. You come here. As you said in one of your videos, you threw your courage, telling me you come here, right? Okay, so now be a man of your words. I want you to come on my platform. Then my audience will see you. Then you expose me of not knowing anything or being a liar or misleading. Please have some balls, because your audience always watch me. They come to my platform to watch me. They come to my YouTube to comment. They come to my Facebook to comment. Please, they are very emotional. So save them. Save them, please, Hamza Malik. Just be a man for once. Please, be a man for once. Just call me. We arrange, okay? Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know which name you put. It was a double cross. Yeah. Thank you very much. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to TikTok, right? TikTok, normally I have one-on-one session there. Thank you very much, Talib, for the gifts. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you also, EZ, for the super chat. I appreciate it. I'm going to TikTok. Anybody who wants one-on-one session for me, please come to TikTok. It's more easier for me. Here, I don't like spending too much time because it's so boring to watch a long video like that. So please join me on TikTok. If Hamza Malik's foot soldiers are here, the Hibijibis and Hula Baloo fans, please come also on TikTok. Join me on TikTok, right? There it will be fun because I have a large following there, about 80,000 followers. So you come, they will see you there, expose me. So please come. You bring all your soldiers, the following closely hypocrites. Come. Come. Join me on TikTok. It is the best platform I can do one-on-one with you if you think I'm running away. So come there. Tell your Hamza Malik to also get TikTok. It's a fun place to be, actually. So thank you very much, Sharif Karim. Thank you. I appreciate your presence. Thank you very much, the real Mishizi Sniper. Thank you for the support. I apologize to all those who think I'm just being over. Sometimes I just have to do that because it calls for it. You heard the man says he's going to troll. He's a troll now, so I have to troll him too. Retaliation is allowed in Islam, so let anybody do what they want. But anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Till we meet again tomorrow. Inshallah, I'll be here to do the question and answer session for Ramadan, right? Other than that, please, anybody, I dare anybody, the following closely people, the Jesus has a father people, the hypocrites, come, I'm on TikTok, join me. Thank you. Please. Please join me, please, on TikTok, please. I beg you. Please join me. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Peace out. Till we meet again tomorrow. Peace. Always give them a reason to remember your name. The correctional officer.